The evil villain.
I step into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, I tune into my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Good morning, you unbelievably beautiful human beings. Yes, I'm talking to everybody on my set right now.
Yeah.
This guy over here.
Come on.
And you at home. Welcome to it. This is your feel-good kickstart to a brand new day. My name is Graham Richards.
How's it? My name is Ewan. Let me just think about that for a second.
Ewan?
Dude,
Are you ready?
it's not often we get to dress up like this, dude. So I'm just trying to find that new identity, that new agent in me. What would your agent name be, bro?
I don't know, not so secret agent. I'm just so noisy and clumsy, man. Yes, we are gearing up for something special today. You might have guessed it, the release of the latest Mission Impossible movie. Tom Cruise at his best, as he always is. And of course, JP Sebastian is going to take us into the 7th edition, point 1.
7th edition, point 1.
Or point 5. We haven't quite worked it out.
This is what happens when you get so far in a franchise. You know, you got to start putting in those little pauses.
I love it. If they say there's going to be 3 versions of this one coming out, I'm here for that. And we're going to do a deep dive today, bro.
We are. Listen, we've seen some of the footage. We've seen some of the clips of how those crazy stunts look like, what they look like, that Tom Cruise. I mean, the thing is that he does all of his own stunts, man, I think, which is incredible. So we're going to run you through the movie because we're super excited. Plus, Grant Hines shares his fascination with the tech featured in the film. As we know, with Mission Impossible, you can expect some off-the-charts tech.
Yeah, we absolutely love it. Then we meet individuals who have taken on that Mission Impossible, quite literally, from driving across Africa in a tuk-tuk, as one naturally does. I mean, wow. We love tuk-tuks, okay? But not driving across a desert or a mountain. And then how about doing some free diving in the ocean, going to depths that no one else can without oxygen. We have got some crazy experiences, real-life experiences right
and
here.
That we do. We are excited this morning, so make yourself a cup of coffee and stick with us. Let's say good morning to our other fellow agent, Nature Boy.
Yes, come in, HQ. This is Nature. Yeah, I got the good morning post right here. All right, confirm. Yes, good morning, Mzansi. Codename Nature Boy out here. I hope you're having an absolutely beautiful start to your day. And if you are tuning in right now, then you've definitely done that. So thank you, well done. And of course, we're chatting to you this morning, saying hello and finding out, because it's all themes adventure, all themes missions impossible. What is the spy name that you would have? What is your code name that you would have if you were a spy, if you were in a Mission Impossible movie, if you were doing something crazy? Let us know. Mine, of course, nice and simple. Agent Nature. Nice and easy. You know what I mean. But come through, let us know what your name is, your code name, your spy name. Let's have fun with it. And of course, before we do anything more, official duties must commence. Let's get into it.
Let's start your Thursday morning off with your news headlines, starting off with those national news this morning. Police Minister Becky Cele says 12 persons of interest have been identified in connection with the torching of trucks in KwaZulu-Natal, Mpumalanga and Limpopo. Now, 21 trucks have been set alight in the last 5 days in these provinces. Now, the police believe the attacks are being coordinated from KwaZulu-Natal. Now, Cele said no persons have yet been taken into custody, but arrests, he says, are imminent. The police also believe the attacks on the trucks are possibly related to economic sabotage. Meanwhile, President Cyril Ramaphosa has issued a strong warning to those who are involved in burning trucks, saying they will face the wrath of the law. He was speaking at the graduation ceremony of cadets of the National Rural Youth Service Corps in Nigel on the East Rand. Ramaphosa said he would not tolerate people running around on the rampage, destroying the economic assets of South Africa. He added, and I quote, "We will go after them. They will face the full might of the law." Making international news headlines this morning, the leaders of Iran and Kenya have pledged to strengthen ties as their government signed a raft of trade agreements yesterday during Iranian President Ibrahim Raisi's maiden visit to the East African nation. Now, this visit comes as the Islamic Republic tries to shore up diplomatic support to ease its international isolation. Raisi is also due to travel to Uganda and Zimbabwe on the first Africa tour by an Iranian leader in 11 years. He will meet with President Yoweri Museveni in Uganda and President Emerson Mnangagwa in Zimbabwe. And Russia plans to display NATO equipment it's destroyed in Ukraine outside the embassies of Western countries that supplied it, Russian Parliamentary Speaker Vyacheslav Volodin said yesterday. Russian officials have repeatedly criticized Western countries for supplying weapons to Ukraine, arguing they risk causing further escalation. Now, Ukraine asked for the weapons to defend itself and recapture Ukrainian territory occupied by Russian forces since Moscow's full-scale invasion in February 2022. Ukraine's President Zelensky has been meeting with leaders of the NATO alliance this week in a bid to secure long-term security commitments. And we end off with this rather cute story. A giant panda gave birth to twins for the first time in South Korea on Tuesday. Now, they were born hours apart, one weighing 180 grams and the other 140 grams. The Evelyn Theme Park Zoo says Mother Ibo and the female twins are in good health. Now, there's a 40 to 50% chance of pandas giving birth to twins. Now, in recent years, twin pandas were born in France and Japan, and in 2014, the world's first triplets were born in China. Now, since the 1950s, China has sent its furry black and white ambassadors of goodwill to various destinations around the world, a program colloquially dubbed Panda Diplomacy. We love that story. And that's your news headlines for the 6 o'clock bulletin. We'll have another round for you at 7. Right now, let's jump into sports with Graham.
Thank you so much, Ewan. Unfortunately, we start on the worst note possible this morning. The Springboks will be playing their first test against the All Blacks in New Zealand in 4 years under a dark cloud. That was after the shock passing away of Springbok captain Eben Etzebeth's father, Harry. Terrible news was confirmed by a friend of Etzebeth's father, Gerard Russ, who broke the news on Facebook. Etzebeth is set to captain the Springboks, of course, in their Rugby Championship clash up against our old foes, the All Blacks, at the Mount Smart Stadium in Auckland this coming Saturday. But a decision hasn't been taken officially on whether he will be playing, but we certainly send our love and prayers to him and his family right now. And we turn to football. Aston Villa have now announced the signing of Spanish centre-back Pau Torres from Villarreal for a reported £31.5 million. The 26-year-old played under Villa boss Unai Emery with the Spanish club between 2020 and 2023. And the defender, who joined Villarreal's youth academy back in 2003, played a pivotal role as the Yellow Submarine finished 5th in La Liga last season. And he made 173 appearances for his boyhood team, scoring 12 times, and he's played 23 times for his country. Now on to tennis. Ons Jabeur has avenged her painful defeat in last year's Wimbledon final to set up a last-four clash against Aryna Sabalenka. So Jabeur came from behind to beat the defending champion Elena Rybakina 6-7, 6-4 and 6-1 in their quarterfinal. Sabalenka powering into a second Wimbledon semi-final with a 6-2, 6-4 win over Madison Keys in her encounter. Then in the men's draw, Carlos Alcaraz, he's moved into the last four at SW19 for the first time, and as a result, he'll now face Russian third seed Daniil Medvedev. Alcaraz beat Danish sixth seed Holger Rune, another 20-year-old, 7-6, 6-4 and 6-4 in their quarterfinal. Then the unseeded Chris Eubanks, sadly, his dream run was ended by Russian third seed Medvedev in a thrilling 5-set contest, but certainly can be proud of his outing at this year's Wimbledon. Now let's get back on the road for cycling, and Jasper Philipsen secured his fourth stage win of the 2023 Tour de France as he produced another powerful sprint to claim victory on stage 11. So the Belgian worked his way up through the bunch and then kicked off the wheel of Dylan Groenewegen, who came in second. And the last rider to win 4 bunch sprints in a single Tour de France was Britain's famous Mark Cavendish, who of course did it back in 2021, might do it again. Philipsen now extends his lead in the green jersey, while Jonas Vingegaard, he keeps the overall leader's yellow jersey. But sure, with the way the Tour is going this year, we'll certainly watch that space. And that's where we leave our sport for this hour. Brand new day, I would imagine a few warnings to get in. Please take note now as Raul takes over.
Thank you so much, G-Man. Yes, let's dive into the weather and report on weather news first up this morning. And it appears as if the rains and snow over large parts of the country have subsided somewhat. Now, the SA Weather Service has, however, issued warning for wind, leading to localized reduced visibility, and this due to swirling dust and sand, which is expected over the Richtersveld and the Namakwa municipalities in the Northern Cape. Now, extremely high fire danger conditions are also expected over the Richtersveld and Namakwa municipalities in the Northern Cape. Well, from our weather news, let's dive into those temperatures for the first time this morning and see what's happening in your neck of the woods, starting off in Polokwane. Now, your day started at a low of 17 up to a high of 20 degrees. Mbombela sees the day starting at 8 up to 22. Pretoria, your low is 4 up to 19. Johannesburg, 3 is your low, up to a high of 17 degrees Celsius. Carrying on and moving over to Mahikeng, your maximum being 19, starting the day off at 2 degrees for your minimum. Klerksdorp, starting the day off at a very chilly one right now. The actual temperatures being -1 degree to start the day and 18 for your maximum. Moving over to Kimberley, 1 degree to start the day and your max is 19. And Bloemfontein, a nice chilly start of -2, and your maximum being 20 for the day. Carrying on and moving over to Richards Bay now, it looks like moderate conditions, but rainfall coming through from 10, you move up to 21 degrees. Pietermaritzburg, 5 is your low, up to a high of 20. Durban, 13 to start the day, moving up to a moderate 21. And Mthatha, 4 is your low, up to a high of 20 degrees Celsius. Carrying on around the coast and over to East London, where the day starts at 9, moving up to a nice moderate 20 degrees with no rain expected. Much the same for Cradock, 0 is your minimum, up to a high of 20 degrees. GQ Mbecha, 6 is your low, up to a high of 19. And George, 7 degrees to start the day, up to a moderate 18 degrees Celsius. Carrying on over to the mother city, Cape Town right now, your day starts at a low of 10, up to a high of 23 degrees. Worcester sees the day starting at 9, up to a high of 24. Sunny skies expected. Sutherland, much the same, a chillier start of 2 degrees up to 15. And Uppington, moderate temperatures from 6. You move up to a max of 23 degrees Celsius. And for now, though, once we dived into those temperatures, it's always those sunrise views. And look, I'm already smiling. And starting us off this morning, we've got Carmen Mulder out in GQ Mbecha. And look at this, sharing the morning view of the sun's orange hues filling up the sky. And I love how that ray is just bursting up into the world and offering us all the magic. Nancy's up next. It's Nancy Govender, of course, from Pennington in KZN. And she sent in her view of the beach from along the shore. And whoa, absolutely beautiful. Omi's up next from Kairover, capturing this blissful view of the clear blue sky. Wow, this one looks like a beautiful painting. And then Kurt Kruger from Cape Town sent in his view of the sky while on an early morning walk. Oh, Kurt, you won, man. Stunning stuff indeed. And for the rest of you, Mzansi, thank you so much for sending these pictures in. Keep it coming. We'll do it all again in the next hour. And you can use the number 063-408-8863. For now, though, let's find out what's happening for the rest of the show.
Thank you so much, Raul. All right, now that your Thursday morning is officially underway, we're going to dive into our very first ad break. When we come back, it's all about Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning. JP is here. He's going to be running us through, and of course, as you would expect from a Mission Impossible film, some of the latest, most futuristic tech. And that's why Grant Hines is here to run us through, and possibly would we be seeing some real-world applications of some of the tech featured in the movie? I don't know. We'll find out after the break. Stick around.
Only you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome to it. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show Expresso right here on S3, man. And we are excited. Mission Impossible 7, Dead Reckoning. It is here. We are full agent mode this morning. Yeah. Agent Nature Boy, good to see you.
I'm in the zone, man.
You guys have the posture and everything. I'm just like,
where's
what
your agent posture?
a Beavis and Butthead.
Also, what is your agent name?
Chill.
You gotta have agent
It is
name today.
5 a.m. My is Agent Sleepy. I suppose.
Agent Sleepy. All right, listen, but we are excited. We're excited to have you. Welcome, JP. Always good to have you.
Hello.
Are
You're excited
you excited
about one of the biggest movies of the year?
Oh, man, come on.
And you missed a tiny part of the title as well, is that this is Dead Reckoning Part 1.
Okay, fine. Let's get technical.
I mean, this is how crazy the size of this movie. Where does it go to next? I mean, they've been flirting with space.
I don't know how I feel about this, eh? Like, you go to cinema and you watch this movie and then it just ends and you're like, there's more. Now I'm going to wait another.
Yeah.
Wasn't that the feeling with like Fast and Furious X as
gosh.
feeling for some people with Spider-Verse as well? But hey,
After 7, then you're like, okay,
forgive it.
Yeah.
It's like James Bond is on lot, like 50.
The problem with this, though, is that you can't get over the man that's playing this agent in this movie. He doesn't age. He does all his own stunts.
27 years
Like,
that he's been eating.
He gets better and better.
And I think let's let him speak for himself. We've been blabbering over here, our agent Sleepy and Drowsy. Let's have a look at a clip of a featurette from Dead Reckoning, Mission Impossible number 7, Part 1, etc., etc. Yada yada.
To shoot these stunts for Mission Impossible. With Tom, there are no limits, so we become a little bit more adventurous every time.
Tom's doing a sport very few people on this planet do. It's called speed flying.
It's a very beautiful and delicate sport.
But it also is one of the most dangerous sports in the world. While it may look similar, speed flying is not skydiving. Skydiving is fairly predictable. Speed flying is incredibly unpredictable.
It's a very small canopy racing down a mountain just feet off the ground.
Any sort of crosswind could put Tom in peril.
We're gonna do spirals. And we're landing in an incredibly high speed, over 80 kilometers an hour. We've been training for a few years now. And we're always looking for what's the most dynamic way to shoot this.
Coming up with the stunt is only one of the technical challenges. The other is putting a camera in a place that you can see where Tom is operating the speedway.
You can't get close to this with a helicopter or a drone.
So we had to develop a gimbal system flying along with Tom. You had cameras hanging off of both sides being operated in a helicopter.
I mean, is he even human?
This remains to be seen. I think that's
You know what I'm
the
saying?
big reveal of Part 2
I
is
mean, he doesn't age.
rips off another mask behind the mask.
I know. It's just like, it's like, it's time.
The first one was 1996. We
mad.
use our marker as The Matrix was when cinema arrived.
Yeah.
When we were still using candles and it wasn't load shedding.
My biggest conundrum here is how much better he physically gets as he gets older. That goes against everything that we are used to know.
I think you could call it experience.
It's and in a similar wheelhouse.
Benjamin
It's
Button of action movies, maybe?
for him, like, it's the mental state, a lot of it. Like, what's so weird is when you watch these interviews with these co-stars, they're like, they always come to this part where they're like, being with Tom Cruise instills confidence in you. Having him grab your hand feels like I'm safe now. Like all of them have like Tom Cruise as a mental crutch. But look, the reason why I'm here is because I want to tell you, what point of Mission Impossible we're re-entering this universe. Oh man, that word universe is so abused. Because like we were saying, I mean, this is basically like James Bond by now. It doesn't matter what the previous one was doing, etc., etc. And this is precisely what the case is here.
Okay.
It's not the situation that you're finding, a villain returning from one of the previous ones or something like that.
Yeah.
So whereas, in one of the previous ones we had Locke, who was, I think, Sean Harris was the name of the actor, but he was very, very good. Anyway, none of those oldies that return. We've got one of the new faces is Hayley Atwell, who you might remember from the Captain America movies. She was the British character, and anyway, she made a turn in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness as Captain Britain or something. Anyway, so she's the new face here, but otherwise you see some of the regulars. You've got Ving Rhames, who is also there since day one, 27 years with Tom Cruise.
Unbelievable.
He plays in these regular characters, the hacker sort of dude. Simon Pegg makes a return. This is probably like, what, his 5th one or something like that. Yeah. Rebecca Ferguson, Lady Jessica Atreides, to some nerds around here. I'm looking at you. And yourself, the Dune nerds. And so, yeah, all the regulars. What is the story, however? And the story is, well, man, we're talking about an espionage movie here. We're talking about the sleight of hand movie. We're talking about, like, changing of briefcases. I can't tell you too much, but I will tell you that there's now a massive threat that obviously is, like, threatening all of humanity. And it's something that we actually live with in present day. I can't give away to you what that is.
Oh, wow.
But it's a new villain, and it's something that these IMF, which is what's the name? Impossible Mission for... No, Impossible Mission Fund.
Yeah, I was like, what are they doing here?
That's a silly joke they're making in the movie, too. However, they've got to confront this new thing, which is something that we see all around us right now, too. There is a new villain who is the odd job guy to the villain, and he's pretty scary in his own right, but he is something from the way past. Not in any footage that you might remember from 1996-7. So a guy returns from Tom Cruise, Ethan Hunt's character, before we know him as Ethan Hunt the spy. Now you have other forces that are bearing down on the situation. CIA is chasing the IMF because Tom Cruise is going too rogue as usual. Yeah. You know, Tom Cruise can get a bit crazy. So he's got that one chase on the one side, he's got the villains chasing him for another, but there's the secret key, the cipher, the sort of cryptic device that might reveal what this weapon is capable of, this global weapon that possibly threatens all of us even today. So it feels relevant. It feels relevant to some of the stuff that we're seeing in technology, et cetera, which we'll see in the next segment. However, what we do want to look at is the continuation of that featurette that we saw, where you can probably just die at 80 kilometers per hour doing speed flying is the very boring name for the death-defying thing that Tom Cruise does in Mission Impossible 7, Dead Reckoning Part 1. Here is Part 2 of the featurette. Calories.
Roll it.
And breathe.
That's one of the things of doing practical action. We are at the mercy of weather, and it's too dangerous.
The wind's dropping now, and it's only going to get better.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. I'm ready.
Confirming you have picture now.
Picture's good.
3, 2, 1, action.
Tom is airborne, Tom is airborne.
Flying very close to rocks looks quite beautiful. Behind the scenes, we were all in absolute terror. Landing, Tom had to be flying towards the camera vehicle. That meant that Tom had to be hitting the exit button, or it can end in disaster. It is truly a one-of-a-kind adventure.
Oh my goodness. Can we just put this down that a lot of us go to work and sit in the office the entire day? I mean, this is his job, what we've just seen. And I think that is fantastic.
But while, you know, a lot of us have a history of thinking Tom Cruise can be a bit too extra, can be a bit too wild or whatever, I've had to come to the place where I'm like, I respect the dude. He really is an artist in... I feel like Tom Cruise is the kind of person, like someone told him the price of a movie ticket once and he was like, you pay what? For what? Okay, 5 more stunts, everyone.
Yeah.
So he does give a darn about making entertaining cinema, and I have great respect for him. That obviously all the stunts are his own. Some other stunts that you will see, and this is released in South Africa tomorrow, is one where they built their own train so that they could do a fight on top of the train with practical effects, no CG, no computers or anything like that. Then obviously there's the big bike stunt off the mountain too, which is the one that they've been hyping so
I think that's
much.
one of the most viewed clips on social media as well at the moment.
Yeah, and probably the last clip for a lot of people to see. Rush to the heart. So, tell you what, I'm going to get into the meat and potatoes of the pros and cons tomorrow, however, with a review. That was just a teaser. Of
Looking
what's to come.
forward, my man. Thank you very much. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1.
why do I use my hands like the macho man?
Got it. Listen, so as you can imagine with Mission Impossible, there's going to be some incredible tech featured in the film as well. And we're about to connect with Grant Hines to run us through. And maybe we'll see some of that tech in the future. And we've also got tech of our own, because if I do this and I'll say, Graham, over to you. Watch. Graham, agent,
Hi.
over to you.
Oh, no, I'm not Graham.
I think Grant Hines hacked the Graham prompt there, dude. Sorry, man, he got in there quickly. Now, we love the fact that this tech in front of and behind camera is blowing minds. I think all of our cameramen were looking at that one-of-a-kind gimbal set up for the speed flying in a whole different light. We love it. Mission Impossible is always full of exciting technology, and this Mission Impossible 7, Dead Reckoning, is no different. In fact, there is a whole lot more baggage coming with tech now as well, and they seem to push those buttons. So to make these movies believable, there's always something rooted in reality, and our tech expert, Grant Hines, is here to show us just how close to reality a lot of this tech is. It's almost like they've looked at, or they've asked an AI to look at all the tech stories that are going to push people's buttons, and they've included that tech, including AI.
Well, like JP was saying, like a lot of what's happening, the villain is relevant, like in what's happening today. The villain is like this big AI called the Entity. That is, I think a lot of people who aren't familiar with artificial intelligence or technology might not think it's that far or that realistic.
Yeah.
But in actuality, it's not that far off. So the thought process here is that this AI becomes sentient.
Does it become sentient, or is it made sentient for
I actually don't know. You've got to go watch the movie.
Yet?
You've got to wait for JP's review tomorrow to see that for yourself. But the idea is that this AI is in essence sentient, and a lot of people, there's a huge discussion about whether AI can be sentient or not.
Or should be sentient.
Or should be sentient. We've already seen, Blake Lemon, there was a huge story last year where one of the employees at Google left and was doing his own research and found that he thought that the AIs that they've been working on had become sentient by asking it a couple of questions. And you've seen this trope in many other movies as well, like the excellent Ex Machina, which is probably my favorite version of that. But where the sentient AI gets scary is that obviously it becomes like a villain. And
well, it's also because humanity is often our own worst enemy. So if we had to put a control measure in here, one of the first signs is they're going to be looking at what we do to ourselves.
Yes, like I like to think of it as AI is scary because we're scary.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
it's an extension of us.
It is an extension of us. It's everything that we put into it. And I think of the really prophetic story of Arrival. I think it's such a great film. Yeah. And if you haven't seen it, you should. But the way that we communicate is there's a lot of subconscious bias. And I think the same
related to war.
Related to war, because I mean, even you'll see it in the film. And the things that we're feeding AI and where a lot of the progress in AI is being made is in military applications. Yeah. And that's where a lot of the stuff gets extremely scary because as we were talking off camera earlier, kindness and a lot of empathy and social welfare and human rights, a lot of those things get omitted from the equations.
Or they're allowed to be omitted because of the guise of war. So we get that. A big one when we look at deep fakes at the moment, because this has touched so many people very close to me.
Yes.
It's crazy. This is happening.
So in the film, there's a scene in Abu Dhabi airport where they have like face monitoring, face tracking. This is actually like a real thing because I've just recently gone to Dubai and it's the same thing. We just walked through customs. They didn't even look at our visa because the cameras were like, cool, you're in.
Sorted.
They literally put a SIM card into your passport and hey, welcome to,
cheers.
Hey Grant, welcome to Dubai. So, but what they do in this to thwart it is they use this technology called deepfakes, which is a very scary technology which an AI basically matches your face with another person. And I actually want to show you a little clip about how scary deepfake technology can be.
Oh my word, go for it. Okay, we'll get into that in just a moment. That was a deep fake within a deep fake a deep fake.
That's Grant. This is Graham.
I know. You can tell by the tone of our voice. It is terrifying to me because I've seen this happen to friends of mine have kind of been taken in this space. It is all happening around us. So in the movie, do you think they've landed perfectly? Have they hit that nerve?
So what makes it realistic is that facial technology and then to counter it with deepfakes is very exciting, but the computing process in real time is just something we won't have until quantum computers actually, or quantum processors actually come around, because there's just so much happening in real time. So I don't think we're going to see it, but it's such a great narrative, like, design. Like, when I saw, I just want to watch this movie now, because I was like, oh, that's so clever. And then the AI has to do the chess moves, so they're using all these real-world tech things, and then the AI has to use chess moves with other real-world tech things, so the writers had to, like, work
And I'm thinking, through this process, the AI is just learning as it goes. Stay with us. We've got more impossibly true tech gadgets to discuss in just a little bit. It's all about Mission Impossible 7, Dead Reckoning, Part 1. Oh.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back as we continue our deep dive into the tech from Mission Impossible 7 Dead Reckoning with our tech expert Grant Hines, who is very excited, and with good reason, because it may surprise you to know that some, if not most, of this technology actually exists in a form.
Yes.
In a form.
Yes.
They obviously, for this movie, they've got to kind of ramp it up and take it to that extreme. But the crazy thing, I think, what makes it so exciting is that the stuff is kind of there already. AR glasses, we've touched on these before.
Yes. So AR is different from VR. VR stands for virtual reality. AR stands for augmented reality. So you can see through the glasses like you would normally, but like, what happens if you could overlay something over the world?
Layer in someone's profile over their face when you see them.
Yeah, or like price comparisons at a shop, or, you know, there's the other practical uses, but also ripe for exploit, because you can literally make people see what you want them to see.
100%.
And we're not far, actually we're kicking it off. We obviously saw Google Glass that happened and closed, but Apple also just launched Vision Pro, which is their new AR. And when Apple do something, generally the industry seems to follow. Okay. The thing is that it's very expensive, but it's the start of, I think, their move to replace the smartphone, where the smartphone just sits on your face. So in the film, they've got a pair of those AR glasses with the world augmented. It's a little bit like, obviously, a huge goggle set that goes, that's very obtrusive. Walking through an airport or whatever environment like that would be very obtrusive, but it is possible and it is coming.
Cars are flying, it's a short hop. We're gonna get there pretty quick, man.
Yes.
I think we're gonna get there pretty quick. This one got my interest and I'm dying to know more about it.
Yeah.
Seamless internet.
Okay, so there's this is something that I need to do way more research on, but it's very interesting. So we have a lot of radio waves that are traveling through the air at all times.
sure.
So it starts off with, you get 5G as a like very tight radio signal. And then you get like, FM radio and AM radio, which like travels the country. It's the same thing.
Travels through the universe.
It's the same thing. They're like waves that travel,
For
right?
sure.
And data can travel on those waves. That's how we pick up with an antenna. We pick up radio. Use your phone. With the right antenna, you can pick up that data. There's a lot of other radio waves that we aren't using. And that's called the white space. And you've obviously, a lot in the TV industry in South Africa, you'll understand that the white space...
Noise and white space. And
White space, the white space spectrum is something that a lot of people want to use to send, media and consumption, and you can like watch live streaming video and so on through it. That's the goal. But what's happening now is that technology, they want the internet to be everywhere. So,
And all the time.
And all the time. So especially for military applications where people might be or consider themselves off-grid, instead of being off-grid, they just bring the grid to you with the right white spectrum, and then they can find you.
Very close system.
And with that, they can drop in Trojan horses and viruses or break down electronic equipment. The only way to counter that is something called air gapping, which means that you are like literally segregated away from the white spectrums and the noise and satellite dishes. But air gapping is even that's complicated because your computer, every device we have is letting off an electromagnetic field.
For sure.
And you can use that as it's a fingerprint for the machine that's being used.
Oh my goodness.
So you see where this is going, how like the technology, lo-fi technology is very interesting because you can use all this old school technology to use new applications. So so that's becoming a thing, and in the film you'll see they always have like headphones on and they're on these spectrums where they're like talking to each other, whereas we're walking through the city and I'm not even getting 4G.
Yeah, I don't.
So you're like, wow, why is this not even working?
A phone signal in my house, dude. I mean, come on.
But it's coming, and in those, specifically those like military applications, a lot of that technology with the right antennas and the right approach exists now, and it's only going to improve.
It literally is the tip of the spear, and that's not even an analogy anymore. It's the tip of the spear. It's the weapon that's being used. I hope that movies like this force us to just slow down, stop and think about the tech that we're employing every day, but also get us even more excited about just how far we are pushing. Grant, love you, guy.
Oh, yeah, we're going to keep pushing right now and also talk about the elephant in the room and the fact that at 61 years old, yes, Tom Cruise is 61 years old. He's still one of the fittest and most well-conditioned actors in Hollywood. The man is absolute goals. Now, the superstar still does his own stunts, which seem to get crazier and crazier with every movie, as I'm sure you've seen in some of the trailers we've been showing you. Now, the key for Cruise is mixing things up. Now, his workouts include running, kayaking, rock climbing, and fencing. It's a varied stimulus, and he uses 3 days for weight training and cardio to remain in shape. So we thought we'd give you some insight and maybe get you, Tom Cruise, ready. So we brought in someone that is a specialist when it comes to strength training, when it comes to anything involving moving your body. I'm talking about personal trainer Paul Jordan in the building.
How are you?
I'm good, bro, and you?
Good.
I think I'm still recovering from that last leg session we did. Like,
listen, that leg session was all about it. I mean, you had that proper pump on TV.
Yeah,
so
man, we're pumping off. But let's get Tom Cruise ready. I see the man really looks good in the upper body region for his age. I don't know what's happening lower down because he was wearing pants, but he looks competent. He's doing stunts.
we can give the viewers an idea.
Okay.
He follows a traditional split in regards to his weight training.
Yeah.
Day one, chest, shoulders, and chest, shoulders, triceps. Day two, back, biceps, traps.
All right.
Day three or day four, you'll take like, you'll do some outdoor activities just to get that cardio in, get the heart racing, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then on his extra weight lifting day, you'll do abs and lower body.
Okay, so that's like almost like a traditional bro split.
Yeah, like 3 day split. Yeah,
okay, I like that. Clearly it's working for the man.
Yes.
And clearly the consistency also pays off. So he does weight training. What happens if you don't have weights and you still want to look like Tom Cruise?
Right, so you can perform some of the exercises at home if you have, let's say, dumbbells. If not, you can still perform similar exercise that targets the same muscle groups, right? So I'll be showing some of the exercises that you can be doing as alternatives to the weightlifting exercises. If you do have access to a gym, you can combine the exercises that I'll be showing today with them in a superset or, let's say, a drop set.
Beautiful. Let's get straight into it, man.
Right.
My workout gear on.
So one of his first exercises that he usually does on the day one for chest is like bench press, his incline press. So we're going to be doing movements on the ground for that. So we can start. Let's start on the normal hand placements. Let's do reps of 12.
Right, we're going into a push-up, right?
Yes. Just keep it there.
Anything to look out for here when we're doing the push-up? Any do's and don'ts?
I think just keep your hands neutral below your shoulders. Head up. Usually always head up.
Okay, Burns here. I'm feeling it.
10, 11, 12. Now, what we can do is we can go in the pike position.
Yeah.
Start hitting those front delts. If you don't have the weights to perform, dumbbell shoulder press.
Or
Yes.
something like that, all right.
All right.
So this is an alternative for a dumbbell press. We're going into a pike right now. In here, again, do's and don'ts on the pike. I know always keeping the elbows in as opposed to fade out, right?
Correct.
Whew. Oh, the shoulders are now burning, my friends. How many reps are you going for here?
Let's give 6. And then stand up again.
Woo!
All right.
Hey, we're going straight into it. I'm really getting the bulbous Tom Cruise look.
Now for the next couple of sets. So what he usually does for shoulders, he likes to do seated overhead shoulder press, dumbbell press. I haven't seen any lateral raises in his movements, in his day one, but I think yes, for the delts, the side delts. But let's show the viewers some exercises that they can be doing from home in a seated position using any weights they have to their advantage, right?
So I don't even need like a gym bench. I can just.
I think so. Like, obviously, don't go too heavy and like injure your back in the process. But you know, if you do have weights to your advantage, so if you do have weights to your advantage, use them.
We've got a gym hack here, obviously, as you can see, Mzansi. So no excuse if you don't have equipment at home. You can fill up some water bottles or fill up a bag or do anything crazy. But let's get into it. All right.
So we are in a seated position. He likes to do seated dumbbell overhead press, shoulder press. So let's just show the viewers the proper form for the shoulder press. Like to go down, below the 90 degree, and up.
You know what's crazy about seating on the ground right now is the fact that I almost feel a little bit of my core stimulation as well.
That is correct.
It almost feels like I'm needing to make sure that my body doesn't fall all over the show. So the core is engaged right now.
So we can give them another alternative, right, to that, which is the Arnold.
Oh yeah, the Arnold press. Whew. And dude, even though we are using like water bottles right now, I myself am getting a good stimulus in my shoulder. I use weights at home and I use heavy weights.
Bikes.
But no, honestly, even just doing something with good control, I think, and good quality, you really still get that stimulus, man. Mind-muscle connection, I think.
That is correct. Also in control. All right, let's move over to triceps. He likes doing dumbbell.
Now, this is where it gets interesting because if you don't have gym equipment, how do you work the tricep? Do you have anything for that?
Well, of course we do. Let's just show the viewers what they can do if they do have a weight, right? He likes doing dumbbell overhead tricep extensions, right?
Okay.
So let's just show him the form, and then I will give him an alternative straight after, right? So this is the proper form for dumbbell overhead tricep movement. As you come up, remember to squeeze. That's the most important thing, and have that range of motion when going down. All right. Perfect.
Beautiful stuff, brother.
Let's give the viewers an alternative, or just tell them an alternative. So an alternative would just be to do your diamonds and focus on the form going down.
Oh, all right.
If for any reason you can't be doing this on your toes, go down on your knees. It's 100% fine. And focus on the range of motion.
Oh man, Paul, you're done coming through with the goods right now. I've got the pump. Clearly, as you can see, something's working here, and I gotta thank you, man. Always coming through, always producing. If you want to get your Tom Cruise muscle fitness on, then maybe reach out to this man. He's got a full week program that he can offer you, and get the pump on. Yeah! Nice job, bro. Thank you. Woo!
Watch South Africa versus Scotland live in France in a once-in-a-lifetime rugby experience brought to you by Clover. Catch the Box in rugby's ultimate showpiece, hosted by Springbok legend Skulk Burger. 5 lucky winners and their partners will be winging their way to France. Plus, take a cruise to the Mediterranean island paradise of Ibiza. Buy any Clover product to enter. Watch Expresso Breakfast Show every weekday morning for more information on how you can win.
Made with love by Clover. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to it, you beautiful people. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show Expresso right here on S3 on a rather chilly but yet wonderful Thursday morning. Lovely to hang out with you. Now, for the gents out there, beard grooming, it can be a challenge. We all know this. For those with especially sensitive skin, as it can lead to irritation, redness and discomfort, which is the absolute worst. Now, if this is something that you struggle with, but still want to master your grooming game with confidence, we have you covered with expert tips from boys to men's barber. Here we go.
Taking care of your beard is an important part of grooming for many men. However, when you have sensitive skin, it requires some extra attention and care to ensure a comfortable and irritation-free experience. By following a few essential steps and utilizing suitable products, you can achieve a well-groomed beard while keeping your sensitive skin happy.
Stay away from harsh chemicals because that can irritate your skin. Big Comfort Saving Gel is a good product to use for your irritable and sensitive skin.
The gel was amazing to use and nice comfort on the skin, no problems or rash on the skin.
So my experience with a sensitive gel was it was very lubricating on the skin and I was able to get a very close shave and also to avoid any bumps or any pulling on the hair.
Moisturize your beard daily. Use a beard cleanser and a beard oil and keep your beard and your skin moisturized. Trim with care. Use a high quality razor like the Big Flex 5 Hybrid to avoid pulling and tugging on your beard.
Introducing the Big Flex 5 Hybrid, the ideal choice for sensitive skin. This razor offers advanced blade technology and flexible pivoting heads for a close and comfortable shave.
Brush and comb your beard gently to avoid knotting and also spreading the natural oils. Maintain good hygiene by cleaning your beard and face regularly.
With durability and precision at its core, the Flex 5 Hybrid guarantees a refreshed and well-groomed result every time.
Listen to your skin. If you see any redness, irritation or itching, go see your specialist.
Whether you have sensitive skin or not, elevate your grooming game and conquer the day with BIC.
Thank you so much to those gents. Of course, now you have all the expert tips and you too can now master your game. Now here's the deal. You can win one of 10 masterclass subscriptions valued at 3,000 Rand each to help up your skill. And how you do that? To enter, simply head on over to masteryourlook.co.za, find the competition post and answer the following question. If you could master any skill, what would it be? Think about that for a second. Now also don't forget to include the hashtags BigFlex and hashtag MasterYourLook. T's and C's do apply and can be found on their website.
Yes, they can. But for now, though, it's time to step up, elevate, and get you accessorized with some of the absolute essentials. I think you know what I'm talking about right now. Yes, from functionality to style statements. I think we're going to all agree that a handbag is something that we cannot live without. I mean, even gents are rocking it now. I'm serious. Now listen up. Fashion and beauty editor Knox Mafu is here, though, to take us through the must-have Woody's handbags for every occasion.
Yes.
Knox, how are we doing?
I'm good. I'm excited to accessorize some great outfits. I know that bags make me happy, so I'm just ready to do this right now.
Yeah, but before we get into it, let's just hype them up a little bit more.
Of course.
Why are handbags the essential statement and the essential sort of fashion piece that we need?
Absolutely. So a lot of people would obviously think it's about functionality, which it is.
Yeah.
A handbag is really a girl's best friend, even a guy's best friend, actually, like you said. So honestly, it's firstly obviously about functionality, but we know that accessories, much like a bag, is like punctuation to any outfit. It finishes a look. It really adds an element of style that you didn't know you needed. So there's so much to choose from. So the choice in the bag really changes how our outfit looks. It can go from daytime to nighttime, and it's all about how you accessorize. So the bag to me is a key part of any look.
As a gent as well, obviously I'm not well versed in this game,
course.
and that's why I've got you to hopefully educate me and the rest of Mzansi on how can we use these bags to elevate our style. How do we make it work for everyday looks?
Yes.
You've got some options here?
I've got options.
All right.
So obviously we're constantly on the move. There's daytime, there's errands, there's nighttime looks. And so what we're going to do here today, we're going to look at these kind of three categories and also see how they would look in an outfit. So for me, those ones over there, quite close to you, are our daytime looks, right? So this is something that you would probably do on the way to brunch or something with friends. So we've got the faux mini croc, which is that kind of like caramel looking color over there. Really premium. It's got a great crossover element over there. We've got the lock kind of detail crossover bag there. Again, You could use it as a crossover bag, which is really functional, or a tote where you can add a little bit of your orange juice for that mimosa if you want. But really great for kind of beautiful mornings that are out in the sun. There's that premium kind of element to it.
I was just going to say, because obviously the neutral colors coming from the nude.
Exactly.
It just really is so well accented by these like accents coming through from like, is it a brass or
it's like a gold, gold detail. But
whatever it is, it's screaming regal.
Exactly. I love that you know that, but I love the point you brought up about the colors, right? So in a daytime look, you're going to focus on something that's a lot lighter. It's really easy and soft for the day. It'll look great in your picture. So that is kind of my daytime look. So let's
and I
style
can see
that
a few of my things could fit in here too.
Yeah, of course they are.
My essentials.
So let's start with the daytime look and see how we can, which one of these bags
we've got a model here. We're going to actually show
Yes.
you exactly how this brings an entire look to life.
So we've got that great layering. We've got a chino, which I love. So if you can pass me just that, no, this one right here.
Oh.
Thank you so much. Well, my stylist, my assistant.
Yeah,
so if we look at this
assistant.
beautiful outfit over here, we can add then a great kind of lock detail crossover here. She can wear it as a tote or across her body, and it's a really great accessory to an outfit. You can see how it puts everything together quite nicely. Looks quite premium.
I love how this sits in the middle of like just functional and chic at the same time.
Wonderful.
Absolutely nailing it, and
Yes.
we're just getting started.
We're just getting started. And so we move on to our kind of errand look, right? So you're moving between the day. Now you've got a lot more to do in this one. So we've got this metallic finish on a lot of our shoppers. I really love these, and I think that if someone's got a long day at the mall, they have to do a bunch of stuff, this is a great one to have. Made with incredible materials. Honestly, beautiful details. Again, you can move between kind of a tote kind of way of holding it or a sling around the arm.
And again, I like the fact that we're moving up in size here, not to just focus on the functionality,
Yes.
but if you are running errands during the day, you do want some extra space, maybe just to pop in something that you grab from the shop
100%.
or a snack or whatever it may be.
Exactly. If you're on the move, it really is. So this is also quite great. So if we were to style that
All right, let's
in a
do it.
second
Bring on the
look-
next model.
Absolutely. So again, we've got a beautiful kind of layered outfit, really casual, right? So she's on the move, she's comfortable. And if I were to add an let's see. Do you think this would work?
I do, actually.
You do? So I love the kind of cream pickup that we're seeing over here. Again, the gold detail being a really premium element. It elevates the outfit completely. So we had a casual look, and with that bag, it just takes it up one notch.
Trying to figure out if it's the model that wears this bag or if it's the bag itself. Maybe it's both.
It's a both, right? It's absolutely incredible. So really a great element here. She can fit a lot of stuff. You can fit your whole lifeline in there, and it'll do quite well. So
I could get
really,
my protein shakes in there as well.
That's right. That's right.
This is going to work. Maybe some gifting ideas here too.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Then-
Right, so we've got our
Yes.
morning sort of breakfast time.
Yes.
We've got the everyday sort of lunchtime vibes.
100%.
Let's move into the evening. I would imagine
evening.
some more elegance.
Exactly, elegance is the word. And we've
Yeah.
got the incredible options over here. We've got, again, that faux croc looking quite premium over here. I think black becomes then the color of focus when we're talking about nighttime looks. So if I were to style this one up, I think the faux croc would be really great.
yeah.
We know that Small is all in fashion, and her outfit is absolutely premium. And again, we elevate that outfit with a great accessory. And all of a sudden, she's ready to take over the town.
It is, and the monotone look of the outfit really just makes the bag pop, the accents pop. It really works. It's a statement, but it's not too in your face.
Exactly. And now we've moved down in size, right? So you're at night, you really want to take the essentials. You don't want to be carrying a big bag. It might turn into a night on the dance floor.
yeah.
So that is a great bag to have for that.
Unshackle me. I love this. This is absolutely incredible. Nox Mafu, I never knew I could learn so much about bags, handbags, and
So glad.
how you can style it. Thank you to these incredible models that you brought through as well.
Absolute
Really
pleasure.
elevating this look. And thank you to you. I think we've been served officially. Life is better with the right handbag. From running errands to looking glamorous for a night out, like you've just seen now, Woolworths has a range of stylish handbags for absolutely any occasion. So what do you need to do? Simple. Shop these and more in store, online, and of course on the app. Enjoy. Might grab one for myself.
Yes, please do.
Are you the face? We're looking for 3 fabulous women to be the face of Gynaguard. Win a Fiat 500, 50,000 Rand cash, CoverGirl status, and so much more. To enter, buy and try any Gynaguard product and tell us about it at faceofgynaguard.co.za. You could be the one.
Choose a rate of up to 8.75% with a Nedbank Just Invest account and still make additional deposits when you have extra money. Open your account in less. Choose a rate of up to 8.75% with a Nedbank Just Invest account and still make additional deposits when you have extra money. Open your account in less than 2 minutes on the Money app. Join the bank that's best for your savings goals.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, your beauties. Thank you so much for joining us as we connect with our award-winning performing duo this morning, Inkabi Zezwe. I think you know the name individually. These two artists are massive. Shaba, Big Zulu, very big names within their respective pools, but they have come together to create something really special. And their latest album, Ukamba, has been a hit, as you'd expect, seamlessly merging their two styles, their two personalities in a way that I think has made their fans even more excited. They kicked off their nationwide tour at the Sunbed Arena in Pretoria, and now they join us for a live or a couple of live performances this morning. But ladies and gentlemen, can we get a round of applause for this early in the morning? It ain't no joke. But so first of all, I'm sorry that while you're touring, we had to get you up at 4 in the morning to come and drop some big beats. But we appreciate the fact that you guys are here and that you are here together. Shaba, I'm going to start with you. When you have done so much in your own art, I would imagine there are so many potential collaborations, so many friends that you connect with where you've got that chemistry. Why this duo? How did this come about?
It's been a long time coming because we've been trying for isikhathi eside to do it. So finally, we linked up and worked on the project. We worked near Warner. Basihlalisa phansi ukuthi hayi now I'm this now. But not besizamile vele sihluleka. But finally, we managed to do it. So I think it was time more than anything.
No,
the right time, yeah.
But no small responsibility. You guys represent a cultural element within your music, and it must be hilarious when you see a white kid like me making my way through the terminology, doing a deep dive into Maskandi, finding out more about your culture as a result of the kind of music that you're creating. Was this intentional, or do you not have a choice? Maybe Big Zulu, is this something that you have to do when you create? Was there like a purpose, like we're going to drop it and we're going to show people what this kind of creative heritage is about?
I think I will allow Mkhaya to answer all of them.
You can do it.
Okay, what was the question?
You gotta love the fact, bro, that people are doing a deep dive into your culture through your music now. Is that something that has to happen? Is it something that you don't have a choice, it's just always going to be there? Or did you want to be intentional about, you've almost created a new genre of music with this kind of combination. Was that just a lucky surprise, or was that the intention? Did you want to go and do that?
Ngicabanga ukuthi kithi into ebalulekile ukwenza into engaphakathi enhlizweni nokwenza into ebalulekile ebantwini umculo onemessage ukubanikeza umyalezo so ngaso sonke isikhathi sihlezi sibhekelwa okuthina
Yeah. We drop a bit of a translation.
Or what he's saying is that that's always the plan, to always make sure that we put out music that has good message in it, music that's inspiring, educational about the culture as well.
Completely. And also about relationships. I love the fact that the first song you're going to be dropping this morning, it helps you if you're in that position within a relationship. It's so relatable. I love the fact that Soyana speaks to those that have given it their best shot, that they've tried within relationship, maybe haven't gotten it quite right. If you're in that place right now, maybe we'll give you the emotional tools to be able to do that right now. These gents ain't going nowhere. We are so privileged to have them on this little stage right here performing, for a little bit for us, but mainly for you guys at home. So if you're a fan, show some love on social media right now. They'll be performing on the other side of the news and our sport.
Thank you so much, Graham. 1 minute past 7 o'clock. Let's jump into those news headlines one more time this morning. Starting off with your national news, the ad hoc committee that will appoint the next public protector says it has received 70 nominations, of which 32 were rejected as they did not meet the prescribed requirements. Now, this includes the failure to obtain written consent from the person nominated, as well as the provision of relevant documentation such as CVs. Now, nominations include Justice Dunstan Mlambo and Advocate Dali Mpofu. Now, the acting public protector, Koleka Kaleka, received the most nominations. A shortlist will be compiled in due course. And Police Minister Bekitele says 12 persons of interest have been identified in connection with the torching of trucks in KwaZulu-Natal, Mpumalanga and Limpopo. Now, 21 trucks have been set alight in the last 5 days in these three provinces. Now, the police believe the attacks are being coordinated from KwaZulu-Natal. Kele said no persons have yet been taken into custody, but arrests, he says, are imminent. Now, the police also believe the attacks on the trucks are possibly related to economic sabotage. Making international news headlines this morning, the Philippines has requested that a controversial map in the new Barbie movie be blurred, but it will allow the film to be screened. Now, the production was banned in Vietnam for allegedly showing the nine-dash line on a map. Now, the line is significant as it's used by China to assert its internationally rejected claims in the South China Sea. But Philippine censors said they were convinced the map was just cartoonish. The Philippines Movie and Television Review and Classification Board said it reviewed the movie twice. And the leaders of Iran and Kenya have pledged to strengthen ties as their governments signed a raft of trade agreements yesterday during Iranian President Ibrahim Raisi's maiden visit to the East African nation. Now, the visit comes as the Islamic Republic tries to shore up diplomatic support to ease its international isolation. Raisi is also due to travel to Uganda and Zimbabwe on the first Africa tour by an Iranian leader in 11 years. He will meet with President Yoweri Museveni in Uganda and President Emerson Mnangagwa in Zimbabwe. And we end up with this story. World-famous pop star Madonna has cancelled her summer and autumn tour of North America due to ill health, but the tour's European leg remains in place for October. Now, last month, 64-year-old Madonna developed a serious bacterial infection, which resulted in her in spending 7 days in an ICU. As of now, her health has improved somewhat, but she's still under medical care. She was set to celebrate 4 decades of her career with a celebration tour beginning on Saturday in Vancouver, Canada, with dates also in Chicago, New York, Miami, Los Angeles, Seattle, Phoenix, Denver, and Detroit. And we do wish her all of the best and a speedy recovery. That's your news headlines for the 7 o'clock bulletin. We'll have one more round for you at 8. Right now, here's another look at your sports with Graham.
Thanks so much, Hugh. And unfortunately, we start on the worst note possible in rugby. The Springboks will be playing their first test against the All Blacks in New Zealand in 4 years under a dark cloud. That was after the passing away of Springbok captain for that match, Eben Etzebeth's father, Harry. Terrible news was confirmed by a friend of Etzebeth's father, Gerard Russ, who broke the news on Facebook. Etzebeth is set to captain the Springboks, of course, in their rugby championship clash against the All Blacks at the Mount Smart Stadium in Auckland on Saturday. But an official decision has not been taken on whether he will be playing or not. We certainly send him and his family and that rugby fraternity around him all of our love and prayers. Now, a little further afield, we turn to football, and Aston Villa have announced the signing of Spain's centre-back, Pau Torres, from Villarreal for a reported £31.5 million. The 26-year-old played under Villa boss Unai Emery with the Spanish club between 2020 and 2023 and clearly made his mark. The defender, who joined Villa's youth academy in 2003, played a pivotal role as the Yellow Submarine finished 5th in La Liga last season. He made 173 appearances for his boyhood team, scoring 12 times, and has played 23 times for his country as well to underpin that. Now on to tennis and our African connection on grass. Ons Jabeur avenged her painful defeat in last year's Wimbledon final to set up a last four clash against Aryna Sabalenka. So Jabeur came from behind to beat defending champion Elena Rybakina 6-7, 6-4 and 6-1 in their quarterfinal. And Sabalenka powered into a second Wimbledon semi-final with a 6-2, 6-4 win over Madison Keys. Then in the men's draw, equally as exciting, Carlos Alcaraz, he's moved into the last four at SW19 for the first time, and he'll face Russian third seed Daniil Medvedev. Alcaraz beat Danish 6th seed Holger Rune, another 20-year-old, 7-6, 6-4 and 6-4 in his quarterfinal. Then the unseeded Chris Eubank, sadly his dream run was ended by Russian third seed Medvedev in a thrilling 5-set contest. Certainly gave himself a lot to be proud of in this one. I think we'll see that name again. Now we turn to cycling, and Jasper Philipsen secured his 4th stage win of the 2023 Tour de France as he produced yet another powerful sprint to claim victory on stage 11. So the Belgian worked his way up through the bunch and then kicked off the wheel of Dylan Groenewegen, who came in second. The last rider to win 4 bunch sprints in a single tour was Britain's Mark Cavendish, of course, back in 2021. And Philipsen extends his lead in the green jersey, while Jonas Vingegaard, he keeps the overall leader's yellow jersey at this stage. Well, that's where we leave our sport for now. Hopefully a little less competitive. The roads should be waking up. I think Raul's going to get you to work safely and then get into the weather.
Thank you, G-Man. Yes, let's get you to work safely and report on the roads right now. Not too much going down at the moment, but if you're in Cape Town, in Woodstock, to be specific, there's a stationary bus on the N1 inbound. Now, there is heavy traffic, so please approach this area with caution and do allow for more travel time. And again, for anybody heading out on the roads, do buckle up, stay safe, and plan accordingly. Time to head from the road to the sky now and find out what's happening in the latest when it comes to weather. Diving into weather news right now, and Johannesburg Water says there's been a significant progress in the Rand water shutdown that commenced on Tuesday night and in most parts of the metro. Now, the water entity's technical teams are monitoring impacted systems. Now, work has been completed in many areas in accordance with the scheduled 8 hours, and supply is normalizing. Now, once work is completed, it's estimated that recovery will take 5 days. Now, some Joburg residents affected by water cuts have raised concerns regarding the water tankers deployed to provide water. Now, they say the tankers are stationed very far and that the elderly, in particular, are not able to walk long distances to obtain water and lug it back home. Now, the water shutdown by Rand Water is planned for 58 hours and is part of efforts to upgrade water infrastructure. Well, from our weather news, it's time to dive into those temperatures once again, and starting off in Polokwane, the day starting at a minimum of 17, moving up to a max of 20. Sorry, apologies for that. Starting at a low of 2 up to a high of 16. Umabela sees the day starting at 8 up to 22. Pretoria, 4 is your low up to a high of 19. And Johannesburg starting the day at a minimum of 3 up to a high of 17 degrees Celsius. Carrying on and moving over to the next temperatures, Mahikeng is up next. You start your day at a low of 2 up to a high of 19 degrees. Klerksdorp sees the day starting at 1 up to 18. Kimberley, 1 degree to start the day up to a high of 19. And Bloemfontein, -2 up to a high of 20 degrees Celsius. Carrying on around the coast now and over to Richards Bay. It seems like a little bit of rain coming through on your side of town. 10 is your low up to a high of 21 degrees. Pietermaritzburg starts the day at 5 up to a high of 20. Durban sees the day starting at 13 up to 21. A little bit of rainfall coming through, but sunny skies for Mthatha starting at 4 degrees up to a high of 20 degrees Celsius. Carrying on and moving around the coast now over to East London. It looks like there's not too much rain happening on your side of town. All the rain seems to have subsided. 9 up to a high of 20 degrees. Cradock sees a chilly start of 0 up to 20. GQ Gqeberha, 6 up to a high of 19. And George, 7 is your low up to a high of 18 degrees Celsius. Carrying on around the coast now over to the mother city, Cape Town. Your day starts at a low of 10 degrees. Moving up to a maximum of 23, carrying on around the coast. Sorry, and over to Worcester, you start your day at 9 up to a high of 24. Sutherland, 2 degrees to start the day up to a max of 15. And Uppington, moderate temperatures from 6 up to a high of 23 degrees Celsius. Well, those are the temperatures, but I want to see them for myself. And of course, we've got you to share incredible sunrise views. And starting off with this edition, we've got Derek in North Beach showing off views from his balcony. And this is just outstanding. Wow, what a beautiful perspective we've got there. Moving on, we've got Andrew in Belito capturing white clouds in the blue sky. And oh, it looks like the sun's just about to peek out of this one, giving that feeling of promise. Jodie Ann is up next in Robertson, enjoying a rather earlier start to her day with some coffee, and this time even beating the sun. Well played, Jodie. Walna in Scottsboro is next up and feeling incredibly blessed, sitting watching a beautiful sunrise use, and it looks like a real-life painting. Oh, what a moment you have earned, and thank you so much for sharing that with us. We'll do it all again in the next hour, one last time, and you can use the number 063-408-8863. Speaking of temperatures, let's heat things up right now.
Inkabi Zezwe are here. They are part of a national tour. We are part of that whistle stop here in Cape Town, and we could not be more proud to bring you this duo that are literally creating their own genre within their space. And they're about to help, I think, anyone who has been in a relationship or is maybe in that relationship and just not getting it right. Here they are. It's Big Zulu, Shava, better known in this case as Inkabi Zezwe with Sayona. Take it away, boys.
Timbalang, 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 timbalang. Sayona, sayona, sasinententli, sayona. Sayona, sayona, sasinententli, sayona. Amaphuthethu sawabona, sawabona, kodwa kusasizi ngoba impilo zethu shintshile. Amaphuthethu sawabona, sawabona, kodwa kusasizi ngoba impilo zethu shintshile. Nangikuthanda, ngikufela, nangenza konke ukuvikela. Ay, ngikwenze konke, ngikunike konke, kodwa awunelanga ngoba wangijiyela. Ay, kodwa kusasizi nawe akukusizi, somunye umhlaba manje impilo zethu shintshile. Ay, ngiseninjabulo nothando. Ay, nempilo enhle edaliwa. Sayona, sayona, sasinententli, sayona. Sayona, sayona, sasinententli, sayona. Amaphuthethu sawabona, sawabona, kodwa kusasizi ngoba impilo zethu shintshile. Amaphuthethu sawabona, sawabona, kodwa kusasizi ngoba impilo zethu shintshile. Ngangingedwa ngifikelwa yimibuzo ukuthi wawubona yini ubaluleka kwami empilweni yakho. Tokunye futhi njalo ngihlale ngibuza wona ukuthi wawubona yini sasa nami empilweni yakho. Kodwa kusasizi ngoba ngeke siphinde sibuyele emuva. Nalezo mpendula sasizi ngoba ngeke siphinde sibuyelane. Sayona, sayona, sasinententli, sayona. Sayona, sayona, sasinententli, sayona.
Amaphuthethu sawabona, sawabona, kodwa kusasizi ngoba impilo zethu shintshile. Amaphuthethu sawabona, sawabona, kodwa kusasizi ngoba impilo zethu shintshile.
Beautiful. Oh, my brother. There's something a little bit spiritual about this vibe, dude. Yeah. There's an overlay with your voices, a connection that you guys have. Big Zulu, just watching your face go to that happy place, bro, the second the words start coming out. I would imagine when people are struggling to find the words, maybe the emotion is where you need to start. Maybe you need to start with something spiritual. Just feel it this morning. Absolutely love the fact that we have the privilege of having these gents with us all morning. We're not going to let them go anywhere. They might be on a global tour, or at least a South African tour, but they're in Cape Town right now. Download, download, download. Go and do it right now. We'll see you in a sec.
Thanks, G. Definitely a goosebump performance right there. All right, we're going to be taking a very quick break. When we come back, listen, we are super excited for the brand new Mission Impossible movie that we are tackling all crazy and daring stories this morning. And listen, we are going to be focusing on a story that seems like Mission Impossible, literally, but it was made possible. And then we're going to elevate your coffee this morning as well with a hot chocolate coffee vibe, dipping s'mores in there as well. This is going to be mouth-watering. Stick around for that recipe, all heading your way after the break.
Making a cappuccino with thick creamy froth is now impressively easy.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to it. Wonderful to hang out with you on your Feel Good Breakfast Show this morning. Listen, I'm loving our next guest because imagine packing up all of your belongings in a small, doorless, three-wheel vehicle and setting off on a journey of a lifetime from Kenya all the way to Cape Town. Not a straight line, a zigzag line. And this was the bright idea, of course, of 3 thrill seekers from Kenya, all to raise awareness and funds for wildlife rangers. Now, today we are joined by 2 of them. We have Ivo Horsey and also Jasper Horsey calling in all from here, all the way from Windhoek, if I believe, right? Are you guys all the way from...
Oh, no, I mean, we're from Nairobi.
From Nairobi?
From Kenya, yeah.
Anyway, listen, guys, it's wonderful to have you here. I am super keen to hear about this story. I want to ask, look, we all know documentary series like The Long Way Around, The Long Way Up, Charlie Boorman, Ewan Ruggiero, adventure bikes, you know, traveling through Africa and some crazy conditions. But then you guys come along and say, hey, let's do it in a tuk-tuk.
Yeah.
Right. How did this all happen? Because let's be honest, I know what a tuk-tuk looks like. I've been in a lot of them when I lived in Thailand. They're not made for off-road.
No, they're really not. They are 3 wheels of last mile transportation. They are designed to take you from the shops back to home, in a city, maybe taking your vegetables around. And so, yeah, that is actually why we chose them, because they're so ridiculous. They do not belong. Everyone's seen Long Way Down.
Yeah.
They've got horsepower for days. They're designed for the African bush. And we grew up in Kenya ourselves, and it was COVID times. We were slightly bored. We'd been locked inside for nearly 2 years.
So you want to get out.
And we wanted to get out, and we had been starting to film a little documentary in Kenya on the effects of COVID on rangers. Sure. We needed a way to bring exposure to the story. And yeah, we decided one day I must say, we'd had a couple drinks with a Zimbabwean lady. She couldn't say TikTok. She kept saying tuk-tuk. And we thought she was crazy at first. And then we were like, wow, man, that's a great idea. Why don't we just, so we walked into our local town and we bought 2. Weirdly, our town has a dealership in them. Yeah, naturally, as you do.
As they do, yeah. Look, this is crazy. It's an incredibly challenging adventure as well. Jasper, I want to ask you, I mean, speak to me about those challenges. I mean, the African weather, terrain, the fact that you only have 3 wheels.
Yeah, and we've planned it terribly. We've managed to hit every rainy season in every country along the way down. And I mean, we've experienced flash floods. We're constantly stuck. Again, our wheels are about this big.
Yeah.
So we've been in alluvial floodplains where we've taken 8 hours to move 2 kilometers, running out of water. The rain has really, really dented our progress, but also sand. Imagine driving along these sandy off-road tracks, and then you've got a middle tire that's plowing through that trough in the middle of the road that all the 4x4s are pushing that sand into. Wow, and we're just constantly pushing. It's like more fitness than actual driving.
For sure. And I mean, these are little engines. I mean, did you have any mechanical issues during
the whole time?
Okay, I hit a sore point.
Yeah, we live under those things.
Yeah, we did it. If anyone wants to know a good tour of Namibia, which was our last country, I think we hit 9 or 10 repair stations in Namibia. I mean, it literally broke every single day.
And no one knows what this engine is, because in southern Africa they just disappear. As soon as you leave Malawi, you don't see any
popular vehicle down here.
Yeah, we want to change that.
I think you guys should. But listen, you guys did it. You made it. It was an adventure. You did it for a good cause as well. Take me through some of, I think, those standout moments, because I'm sure there was a lot in terms of also what you guys learned, because lots of time on your own, in your own headspace as well. What has this trip meant for you guys personally?
Oh, it's been so eye-opening. Because everyone always thinks of traveling Africa, they all think of the amazing wildlife and all of that, but they also have this element of danger associated with Africa. They're like, oh, are you guys going to be all right? And on our trip, we've just met the most fantastic people everywhere we go. And maybe it's because we're not traveling in a Land Cruiser. We're traveling in a really rubbish little vehicle that's very cultural leather.
It's a conversation starter wherever you stop.
And so every single town that we came into, every area that we went to, we would bump into these people that just wanted to help or just wanted to speak.
There,
and Africa is the most beautiful place in the world. And we didn't whistle-stop tour it. We had as much time as we wanted because we had all given up on our jobs. We'd all quit that. We had enough savings to keep us going. And so, yeah, it's been eye-opening as to just how amazing the African people are and welcoming they are, and how beautiful Africa is in general. Like, the diversity of habitats that you go into. I mean, agreed, we shouldn't have taken the tuk-tuks into them. But yeah, it was amazing, yeah.
And the benefit of just having no doors, if you're ever in any of these communities, it's like full osmosis, because everyone's sticking their heads in, they're confused about what this vehicle is. And it's just, as I've said, such a cultural leveler. You're welcomed into every village, and you're in lots of them because you're moving so slowly.
Look, I think this is something that you're going to be carrying with you for the rest of your lives. You're going to remember this, which is fantastic. But it begs the question now, you can't just do this now and finish. What's next, Jasper? What are you guys planning? Because you've got the experience now. I mean, you can put it on a CV. I can travel through Africa in a tuk-tuk.
Yeah, it was a good sort of baptism by fire.
Yeah.
But now we're in the process of putting them on containers, taking them over to Montevideo in Uruguay, and then driving down to Patagonia, to the real cold lands, and then up to Alaska.
I hope you're
And
going to put some doors on this time.
Yeah, I mean,
doors. Don't need them.
That kind of breaks the concept of the hardship. You want to throw yourself through the crucible.
And
That's incredible, guys.
And so, like, our whole mission, it's something that we haven't touched on, has been to raise money for Africa's wildlife ranges and anti-poaching units, because it's something that we feel very strongly about. We benefit so much from the bush, and everybody has the ability to benefit from the bush in Africa, especially in South Africa. You have amazing wild spaces everywhere. And so we want to continue on our next journey, as well as this one, we want to continue raising awareness and funds for Africa's anti-poaching units, because we want to be able to conserve those wild spaces for generations to come. It would be so sad for me if one day I did have kids and they couldn't do an experience like we've just done and see the things that we just did.
Dude, and like you rightly said, Africa is one of the most beautiful continents out there, the most incredible wildlife. Guys, thank you very much for your efforts, for your work, for raising those awareness. And listen, well done for making a Mission Impossible possible. Just quickly, where can people find or follow you guys if they want to keep up with what you're doing?
So yeah, we're on Instagram as Tuk South, T-U-K South. I mean, we're very inventive. Yeah, it's actually written on my t-shirt.
Giant hole in it.
Yeah, sorry.
It's savage by the bush.
Yeah.
For sure. Listen,
sorry, none of our clothes really work.
Ivo, Jasper, thank you very much, man. I appreciate you coming to share your story. And we wish you all the best, man. Can't wait to see what you guys are up next to. That new trip sounds amazing, man. I hope there's space for me. Maybe I'll jump in there as well. Maybe.
Anytime.
You might be too tall.
Well, I'll make it work, guys.
Space in those things.
And that's how you make a Mission Impossible absolutely possible.
I think I'm a little bit shorter. I can definitely fit in that one. Dubs, guys, anyone? Well, look, the weather is still a little bit cool and cold, so it's time to pull out the big guns. So we're going to be doing something absolutely crazy that I know you're going to love. We're going to be combining our morning coffee and evening hot chocolate, making the ultimate coffee, hot chocolate served with Smors dippers. Yes!
S'mores.
You just got to
Yeah,
have the
that.
challenge of like not having all the coffee before this recipe.
Yeah, I know. We've done well. You brought a full coffee. Thanks for bringing the full Jacobs. That does often help. Now, I love this. Where you want a comfort food? Boom. You want something that's going to give you a little supercharge of energy? Boom. You want something that's just going to make you feel amazing? Boom. Yeah, for that. Okay, so where do we want to start? I suppose we've got to honor the coffee and the hot chocolate first.
Let's do that, man. And there's various ways you can do this, and I brought some little tips and tricks with me, but essentially starting off with boiling some milk. Right? So I've got some milk in the pot right now. That's actually on a boil at the moment. So what we're going to add to that, we've got some cocoa, which is going in there. Yeah. And then we are going to add some sugar and then chocolate syrup. Now, yeah, chocolate syrup. You don't know or have a place where you can find chocolate syrup, you can do what I've just done. So I've actually made this. I've prepped this for us. I'm using honey and a little bit of, we'll just get that out there.
Don't waste a drop, dude.
Yeah, just using honey and cocoa. Look how
wow, that's clever.
Chocolate syrup.
Hey?
Oh, yeah, that's good. And then mix it all up, and then you can get a little bit creative here. And here's where you have the option, because once this is all mixed up, you can either add your Jacobs straight to the mix or add it to the cup first and let the milk.
Okay,
what do you want to do?
Confused with that. I think let's do the coffee in here, so like get a full sensory taste journey.
So get the coffee in the cup first.
Experience.
Right, G, can I ask you to help me while I'm stirring this up? Can you just grab some of that coffee right there and just place it in the cup?
Sure, I can
just
do
pop
that
it straight
for you
in
with
there.
pleasure.
You kind of create the perfect experience for this one. And
you know, the Jacobs is freeze-dried at just, how's that? I'll make it. This one's mine.
Wait. There's one thing I want to do actually, because we're elevating things up. Let's just redo this. Can we rewind? Can we get the coffee out of there? Sorry, G. I've got a cool idea. We've got some of this extra malted chocolate and syrup that I have. Why don't we get a little bit creative?
A bit of a rim going.
Yeah, let's rim the glass there. Let's get it nice and pizzazzed out, and then we can...
Is this your coffee syrup again?
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, this stuff is amazing. If you don't have syrup at home, try this. Ooh. Now we're styling, bro. Now we're styling.
Now we're winning at life, eh?
Now we're talking. All right. So mine has just come to a boil. I'm going to pop that off. And even if you have a little bit of bits in it, it's fine. You don't have to worry about that. It adds to the creativity. Now we can get the coffee. Yes. Now it's worthy.
Here we go.
Ooh, look at that.
For you, 1.5.
Nice. Okay. Cheese work is done. As you guys watch that, I want you to pay attention to this next step.
I love the fact that literally every sip is going to taste slightly different.
Yeah.
Hey, it's going to be a
Right.
journey, a sensory journey. Good luck. Oh, that looks good.
Ooh, a little bit of spoil, but that's okay.
That's all right. It's for the gram. It's got to look real.
Yes, there we go. Right.
Beautiful.
I'm not filling it all the way, G. I'll tell you why. Because, let me just wipe that off because I want this to look really good. Because we've got something else that's going to be added to it. And enter G-Man's station.
Oh, I love this. Okay, so restraint, because I always go overboard and then it's just a big sticky mess. So yeah, we're using our little mini marshmallows and literally just a few. I would say that's enough. Okay, I'm probably going to go overboard. Just one more. And this is just the perfect way to finish it all off. I'm going to put one piece of chocolate in there as well. Oh, come on.
How do
Don't
we
escape.
concentrate
No one
so much
escapes.
as adults when we get good stuff in?
I know, exactly.
It's like,
yeah.
shh, silence.
That being said, I mean, this maybe is a lot of sugar for the little ones. And then we're going to pop you like that. And now you go into the microwave. It really doesn't need a lot. About 30 seconds, I think. Let's see here. Go for it. Dun, dun, dun.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Unless they're going to explode or do something
maybe
really
we keep
exciting.
eye on
But
that while that's going
I
on.
mean, basically, you just want that lovely, soft and mushiness. I mean, you could go as far as using the burner if you want to do. In fact, we can even add a few more little things in there. Do
Yeah, I
you
was
wanna
thinking
add
that's a
little
good idea. While we got the burner here, while we got the mellows, why don't we pop some on top? We can get that little like smorgas vibe effect. I don't know what I'm saying here, but it just sounds right. And use marshmallows.
The smorgasbord of s'mores.
All right, so what we're gonna do here, G's gonna bring up some flames.
Oh, yes, please.
Oh, just get that caramelization on the top. Oh, now we're talking. Look at that.
Come to me, my little friends. Oh, that looks so
Oh, man,
amazing.
well played. Absolutely
I think that's
nailed it.
all right.
Wanna
And I
check
think-
how our s'mores are doing in Shard?
Let's give him another little...
Give it another little booster. Dude, did you ever have like s'mores when you were a kid at all? This
Oh,
is like camp
yeah.
food, and you're combining it with something like this incredible coffee. I mean, juice.
You would basically, everything else was supplementary to the s'more. So you would put like, get through the meat, get through whatever else, your tin of baked beans, so you could get to the s'more.
But now
man.
for an
Absolutely
adult, I
love
think
it.
this is perfect because we don't need to worry about getting through it because you can sip it, save it, and enjoy it because we've got Jacobs added to the bunch, and that just gives the perfect combination. This is like a collaboration
gorgeous.
that we've all been waiting for years.
I'm ready for it. My nose, my mouth, everything is in absolute overdrive right now. I think that'll do.
Beautiful stuff. And as you can see, G's just sorted out the s'mores. And for you, Mzansi, to make this insanely delicious hot chocolate at home, then you just want to head over to expressoshow.com. And if you missed any of the steps and you weren't paying attention to G and I's exceptional skills, then don't worry, Mzansi, we got you covered. Because here's a recap. Look at that. Oh, we nailed
And
it.
you dunk it. You got it, dunk it.
Here's to the coffee magicians. The ones who know what you get out starts with what you put in.
Do it like this. Get it, move it, own it. Do it like this.
Bespoke.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh, yes, Mzansi, welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's all about action, it's all about adventure, and not just on the movies, but in real life right here in South Africa. So let's dive into one of these people right now. Imagine launching yourself into the depths of the ocean with little more than a gulp of air and no oxygen tank. Now, that's the sport of free diving in a nutshell, but there's a lot more to it. But something we'd like to call Mission Impossible indeed. Now, free diving instructor from Cape Town, Free Diving, we're talking about Stefan Kirsten, joins us in the studio to shed more light on this extreme and absolutely exhilarating sport.
Deep. We live in a world where our breath, it really does dictate so much of what happens within our space, the control of our body. But it doesn't keep us alive, literally. Stefan, thank you so much for being here, getting out of the water momentarily to join us.
Thank you for having me.
This is a weird sport because it almost feels a bit meditative and spiritual. There's something else going on here, and you could die at any time. Is this the most dangerous sport in the world? Like, how have you framed what you do? How would you describe free diving?
So I would actually describe it as much safer than any of your other sports you do around here. So safer than running, cycling, climbing, any of those.
What? Okay.
Yeah. So the problem is we're dealing with two of people's biggest fears. We're dealing with lack of air, so suffocating, and then we're dealing with drowning, like the fear of water. But if you tackle it properly and you get the proper training, it's actually an extremely safe sport. I love seeing the guys out at the beaches just going around, grabbing the mask and snorkel and having a splutter around. If you look at like injuries and stuff, a lot less than your cycling and running. So I think it's actually a much safer sport than any of those.
I think we know that touch rugby is the most dangerous sport known to man because of the social element that's involved, I think.
6 years to recover from that.
But look at that playground, nature boy, hey?
Yeah, man, this literally looks like you are floating in a dream world. And for many people that don't get to experience this, what has kept you doing this for so long? What is the actual draw? I mean, without giving me a full monologue, because I know you could. There's so many
I
reasons.
can talk forever, but just looking at those pictures we just had, and what he said, it is a playground, especially around Cape Town with the kelp forest. We call it sea bamboo. It's a 360. You're surrounded 360 by nature, and
immersed in it, man.
You really are immersed, and. Like you also said earlier, without the problem or all the gear, so you are a lot more maneuverable, you're a lot more free, and then that holding your breath and that slowing down, you are forced to be very slow. This is one of the weird sports where the more you do, the worse you do. So here you really have to slow down, and the more enjoyment you will get out of it. So that's one of the biggest things, is to get people to calm down and slow down.
It's kind of like a slow, adrenaline-fueled walk in an alien land. It's like, it combines so many wonderful sensory elements as well, but I would imagine training is fundamental, especially when it comes to the breathing. So what does that training look like? I would imagine it's quite extensive, but how does it normally kind of play out for you?
There's definitely some training involved, but everybody can learn it within a 2-day course, the fundamentals. There's also a big difference if you look at the sports of freediving or whether you do it as a recreational activity. And for most people, I always recommend to take it up as a recreational activity. Sure, you can go in depth like any other sport, and you have your training regimes and your diet and all of that. But I think unless you are competitive by nature, I'd always recommend people to go we call it adventure freediving. And it's you get the basics, basic theory, basic skills, and then you have a playground at your doorstep, whether it's here in Cape Town in the kelp forest, whether you're up in KZN on the coral reefs. The sardine one in the Eastern Cape is happening at the moment, and that is an incredible spectacle. It's ridiculous.
Now, listen,
alien world.
What if you are someone that really has taken to this now after hearing you and is like, I want to do this, but I can't hold my breath? Firstly, how long can you hold your breath for? And secondly, you mentioned something earlier that you could potentially unlock the breath within other people. Is this true?
Oh, that's so easy.
Okay, that's so easy.
No, it really is. So I don't like talking about the numbers, but I have done 6 minutes once.
6 minutes?
It's like this entire...
By choice or by... And we were joking about saying, just hold your breath while we talk for a few minutes and let's see. Wow.
No, so within 2.5 hour theory session, just telling you about what the body does during breathing when you hold your breath, and then taking you through a few simple steps, I can get anybody out there to 1.5, 2 minutes, really easy. Very rarely does it take a bit longer for someone to get there, but anybody can do the 1.5, 2 minutes.
Wow. Or your phone's going to go crazy. Everyone's going to message you.
Yeah.
I want a minute. I want 2 minutes.
So please, if he doesn't get back to you right away, don't hold your breath. He's on TV with us right now. Buddy, I think you are unlocking an entirely different realm, a world, a way of experiencing life for so many people. So thank you so much for doing that. We're going to keep all of your information out there. I think CapetownFreediving.com is a great place to start. I would imagine the community is a great plug-in. So speak to free divers who have been doing it recreationally, those that have taken it to ridiculous 6-minute lengths, hopefully not by choice.
I'm really at the world record, hey?
Whoa, wow.
Sorry, I'm really halfway to the world record.
That's crazy, man. What the human body is capable is mind-blowing. Is it mission impossible? Nah, it's possible. You can do it.
I love it. Crazy, daring stories this morning. We're excited, and we're doing this because tomorrow is, of course, the release of Mission Impossible 7, Dead Reckoning, Part 1, if you want to have the full title. But we did want to know from you on social media, if you were a spy, what would your code name be? And include that hashtag Expresso Show. We have a couple of voice notes here. We had a first one come through from Leanne. Let's take a listen.
Morning. If I was a super spy, I think my code name would be Loony Lee, because my friends and family that know me well think I'm a bit loony. Thanks.
I love that. Thanks for sharing. And then we have another one from Selvan this morning.
Good morning, Expresso Show. My name is Selma Hanif. I am from Phoenix, and I would call my code name Red Hot Babe.
Red Hot Babe. Yes. All right. So we are here for it. Thank you very much. So, we've all, Ryle, we have, Agent Nature Boy. Graham, we're still trying to figure out. I think I'm going to go with something like Agent Wolf. Something like that. I think, oh, well, there we go. There we go. It unlocked the reaction. Thanks, gents. It was good. So let's go with that this morning. I can add Agent Southern Wolf, maybe, seeing whether we're in South Africa. I don't know. But let us know, what would your code name be if you were an agent? Connect with us on social media with that hashtag Expresso Show. Also send us your voice notes, 063 408 8863.
Oh, Tata, maybe. You got married this weekend.
Stop nonsense. To keep the men away.
Marapega, if you didn't stop nonsense and you're actually married, you'd be getting 50% of your monthly banking fees if you're in Javier and Michael's Plus account.
Yo, I'm gonna call my Mama Beza right now and tell her, Ziakala.
Sige like
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Yes, Mzansi, welcome back. Your Feel Good Breakfast Show. All about action, all about the impossible and making it possible right now. And speaking of, 26-year-old Russ Cook recently set out on a journey to run the length of Africa, all the way from the most southern point of South Africa to the most northern point in Tunisia. Now, the run is the equivalent of, get this, 360 marathons in 240 days through 16 countries. Let's talk about Mission Impossible being made possible. But joining us today via video call is Russ Cook, all the way from Windhoek. Brother, welcome, my man. How you doing?
Thank you. Cheers, guys. Thank you for having me, man. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm fantastic and also just baffled because I'm asking myself, man, are you mad? How could you do such a thing? Taking on this journey is insane. What got you to even attempt this and take this on in the first place, bro?
Oh, well, mate, I mean, I've been in this game for a little minute. I ran from Asia to London in 2019, and then after that I decided that I needed a new challenge, and I saw no one had ever run the entire length of Africa before, and I backed myself for the job, so here we are.
Yeah, we are, man. And I know you've done some crazy things in the past. Obviously, you've done things like running a marathon while pulling a car. You've done something from Istanbul to London. Dude, you are someone that I believe has gotten the nickname the hardest geezer. Why? First, I want to find out how many kilometers exactly is the race that you're attempting now? And why do you always need to elevate it? What's going on here? What's this reasoning?
So the full length of Africa run is about 16,000 kilometers we're looking at. So it's quite a way. But yeah, man, I've been doing these kind of things for a while. I think it's really empowering for me to keep pushing myself, keep pushing my limits, and overcoming difficult things. So I'm just having fun with it.
I think that's also the most important part, chasing your passion, which you clearly are doing phenomenally. Now, one thing that I think is important to me, and I think a lot of people have mentioned this when it comes to running, but you've spoken quite openly about your mental health struggles in interviews. What impact has running had on your mental health?
It's changed my life in every way imaginable, really. Like I said earlier, developing the ability to overcome difficult things, building in that, that resilience, that confidence, self-belief, discipline, motivation, all of these type of things are a lot about what running has taught me and what I've developed whilst doing these kind of challenges. So, I'm a completely different man from the guy that was a fat young man that didn't have any desires or motivations to do anything other than sit in the house all day. A completely different man these days, and it's largely down to what running has taught me.
Oh man, and especially, I think for many people, you get that situation where you feel like you just want to give up. I know you've definitely come across those moments before, especially attempting the crazy things that you have. What is the thing that gets you through and across the threshold? What gets you from not giving in and pushing through when everything feels like it's against you?
I think that kind of, my reasons kind of developed over the years. I think largely at the start, it was very much trying to prove people wrong. And I think I'm moving more towards a space where I'm like trying to prove myself right, and also, I'm looking at things longer term and thinking about my family, my kids in the future, and what kind of legacy I want to leave for them. And the why is always evolving, I think.
Oh man, the why definitely looks like it's evolving, but we are absolutely here for it, man, because you're giving us every reason to push, to try conquer, and to take on any obstacle in front of us. Russ, thank you so much, and we're wishing you nothing but the absolute best of luck for this incredible journey that you're taking on, man. I know you've got this, and the entire SA and Expresso is in your corner.
Thank you so much, guys. Thanks for having me on. I hope you all have a great rest of the day.
Oh, the hardest geezer around. That's another man showing you exactly how the impossible can become possible, just using the body he's blessed with, that we all have to do something incredible. And it's as easy as that. So for now, though, it's time to carry on with the impossible, but head to the kitchen and see what we can fill up with the bellies.
Ah, my friend, it's going to get real because we are going to be making, well, anything with Milo is amazing, but right now we are making Milo squares on a different level,
man.
and we are here for this.
And this is the thing. I mean, when it comes to our kids, we all know that kids eat with their eyes.
Oh,
right?
for sure. And their hands and the tablecloth and everything else.
Pretty much everything. Now, it hashtag must be a Milo morning at me. We are celebrating South African children this morning and their participation in sports. And it's not always about being the best or scoring goals. It's about giving credit to the kids who show up every single day and never give up. But to do this, your little champion needs breakfast, like we've just mentioned, to help give them the necessary sustained energy to do their best every single day. So we're making these delicious, nutritious Milo strawberry breakfast slices, which I think is just fantastic.
Yeah, a little bit of everything. We've got all the right kind of the beta gluten. We've got a little bit of good flavor in there. We've got sustainable kind of energy. We've got a little bit of fast access energy. It's amazing, and it tastes phenomenal.
Oh, man.
Hopefully.
Like you said, anything oats and Milo, it's my go-to.
We are winning.
Off the bat, if you want to get your hands on the recipe and the ingredients and everything, you can visit our website, expressoshow.com. So I'm going to start. We've got some flour.
Okay.
We've got some desiccated coconut.
Desiccated coconut.
That's going to go in there. I love that everything is just prepped.
Yeah, thank you. It's amazing how this just happens every morning. We just like walk in here and it's like magic.
Sugar. We have our
Thank you,
our
foodie
oats.
team. Courtney, we love you. You're amazing.
There we go. Wait, that didn't finish.
Yeah. You know, some viewer, there was a kid, my son was watching there, like, you left some of the sugar in the bowl. Put it
exactly. We're going to go half a cup of Milo.
Cool. Are you generally hot or cold Milo, dude?
Oh, dude, I love a cold Milo, hey.
Thank you for saying that. Our friendship was almost over, bro.
Wait, hang on. And this is just for love, just a little bit extra. Always got to do just
And how much of your cold Milo do you eat with a teaspoon?
Pretty
how
much
much do you
all of
drink?
it. All right, so now we're going to do a little bit of egg here.
Nice.
And then we got some melted butter on that side.
And that's all you need to really bind it together.
There we go. You can. I was going to say pass it to me, but it's all good. There we go. And the thing with oats is why it's one of my breakfast staples. Because I mean, it's full of fiber, keeps you fuller for longer, provides antioxidants as well, which is fantastic. So it's definitely a great way for your kids to get some health.
Yeah, it's so good for the tummy, man. You know, we've gone on and on about beta glucan and how you can lower your blood sugar, and you know it does really all stem from the gut.
Yeah.
And I find it kind of, if I do it in the right way, it supercharges my metabolism.
It does.
As the first meal, it just gets your body like going, which I absolutely love.
And you're not going to be hungry like 2 hours later.
Yeah.
Which is nice. So there we go. All
and you
mixed
can
nice.
sell it as a dessert.
Dude, if this even makes it to the oven bowl before.
Yeah, I know. Luckily, Zoe is not here today. And so nothing will be taken in dough form.
All right, so we're just going to pop that in there.
And that's quite simple and easy. So you don't need a huge amount to bind it all together. Just a little bit of butter, a little bit of egg, and we are on our way.
Yeah, and then into the oven at 180 degrees, what, 15 to 20 minutes. And you are left with beautiful little Milo slices.
Milo slices like this, and they look absolutely amazing. I love the slight caramelization on the top. There's going to be a bit of crunch. It's going to have a lovely, almost toffee-like texture, and we're going to round it off. We've got a nice full fruit strawberry jam here, and you get some amazing jams. Not all of them are just pure sugar. You've got some of the really high fruit content, more fruit bits.
That's it.
And my kids absolutely love this. In fact, I make my little man a strawberry sandwich, jam sandwich at least once a day.
Now, the one thing that you can add in, which I didn't add in now, is your freeze-dried strawberries. But you can use it afterwards for decoration.
Yeah, crush them up, pop them on.
If you can't find freeze-dried strawberries like this, you can go about decorating with some dark chocolate maybe, some seeds or nuts as you're liking. Yeah, I'm going to have one of these.
Buddy, I love you so much. I know I was going to make you a hot one, but now that you've dispelled the idea, you only like cold, so I'm going to do it. It's just so easy when you can get it in a little pucky like this.
I love this. Thank you very much. Now, made from the natural goodness of, excuse me, malt, milk, and also cocoa, it's literally the perfect way to give your kids the energy to go further. Now, to get your hands on this recipe, visit our website, expressoshow.com. It's as easy as that. And then, Milo is also encouraging you to share videos and photos of your sporty kids aged 6 to 12 in action and displaying their good values with sport. Now, show us and use the hashtag #MustBeAMiloMorning and tag @MiloSouthAfrica, because who knows, your future champ could receive a personalized video message, like or comment from South Africa's biggest sporting personalities to encourage them to go even further.
And it does make a big difference. And I think I rode that wave because my mom was just so emotionally invested in the sport that I was doing. I felt like I was much better than I was in any of those sports. But it gave me so much being a part of that sporting fraternity, the friends that I've made, the valuable lessons learned in that space. It's stuff that I think still carries us forward today. So go and champion your young champion. We are here for that and for our cold Milo. Must be cold, I'm sorry.
With Jacob's Barista Editions, every bean, every roast, every cup is in a class of its own. Jacob's Barista quality in whole beans and new aluminium capsules in 3 exciting flavors. Try now.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh yes, Mzansi, welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. What an incredible show it's being, showing you how the impossible can become possible. On top of this, we're also celebrating the Netball World Cup. It's coming to South Africa, and we've got royalty when it comes to refereeing. Yes, Jeremy Ditsitso is in the building, and he's going to be chatting to G about all things netball, all the pressure that they have to face, and everything involving the game. It's hyping up the Netball World Cup, of course. But before we get into that, official duties must commence.
Thanks, Morale. 8 o'clock, and let's quickly take a last look at your news headlines for this morning. Starting off with your national news, South Africa has received just over 3,500 retirement visa applications from 112 countries in the last 3 years. Now, the Department of Home Affairs declined approximately 500 of these applications due to the applicants' failure to produce their net worth documents and meeting the prescribed minimum monthly income of 37,000 rand. Now, Minister Aaron Motsoaledi disclosed this in a written parliamentary reply to the DA, which said people from other countries spending their retirement in South Africa would provide more economic opportunities. And the ad hoc committee that will appoint the next public protector says it has received 70 nominations, of which 32 were rejected as they did not meet the prescribed requirements. Now, this includes the failure to obtain written consent from the person nominated, as well as the provision of relevant documentation such as CVs. Now, nominations include Justice Dunstan Mlambo and Advocate Dali Mpofu. The acting public prosecutor, Koleka Kaleka, received the most nominations. A shortlist will be compiled in due course. Then quickly looking at your international news headlines this morning, stone-throwing protesters clashed with police in Kenyan cities yesterday during a second round of demonstrations in less than a week called by the main opposition leader against a raft of tax hikes. Now, police fired tear gas to disperse protesters in the capital, Nairobi, the port city of Mombasa, and several other towns as well. Intense clashes took place on the expressway connecting Nairobi to the main airport. And last Friday, at least 6 people were killed during protests against the taxes contained in a finance bill signed into law by President William Ruto last month. And the Philippines has requested that a controversial map in the new Barbie movie be blurred, but it will allow the film to be screened. Now, the production was banned in Vietnam for allegedly showing the 9-dash line on a map, and this line is significant as it's used by China to assert its internationally rejected claims in the South China Sea. But Philippine censors said they were convinced the map was just cartoonish. Now, the Philippines Movie and Television Review and Classification Board said it reviewed the movie twice. And we'll end off with this story. A giant panda gave birth to twins for the first time in South Korea on Tuesday. They were born hours apart, one weighing 180 grams and the other 140 grams. The Everland Theme Park Zoo says mother Aibo and the female twins are in good health. Now, there's a 40 to 50% chance of pandas giving birth to twins. And in recent years, twin pandas were born in France and Japan. And in 2014, the world's first triplets were born in China. Now, since the 1950s, China has sent its furry black and white ambassadors of goodwill to various destinations around the world, a program colloquially dubbed Panda Diplomacy. And that's where we leave your news headlines for this Thursday morning. Let's take a quick last round of your sports.
Thank you so much, Ewan. Unfortunately, the worst note to start on as we hone in on rugby. First up, and the Springboks will be playing their first test against the All Blacks in New Zealand in 4 years under a dark cloud. That was after the passing away of the current Springbok captain, Eben Etzebeth's father, Harry. So the terrible news was confirmed by a friend of his father's, Gerard Russ, who broke the news on Facebook yesterday. Etzebeth is, of course, set to captain the Springboks in their Rugby Championship clash against the All Blacks at the Mount Smart Stadium in Auckland this coming Saturday, but an official decision hasn't been taken on whether he will be playing. We certainly send our thoughts and our prayers to him and his family and the rugby fraternity around him right now. Now, turning to football a little further afield, Aston Villa have announced the signing of Spain's centre-back Pau Torres from Villarreal for a reported fee of £31.5 million. The 26-year-old played under Villa boss Unai Emery with the Spanish club between 2020 and 2023. The defender, who joined Villarreal's youth academy back in 2003, played a pivotal role as the Yellow Submarine finished 5th in La Liga last season. He made 173 rock-solid appearances for his boyhood team, scoring 12 times, and has played 23 times for Spain to underpin the talent there. Now, speaking of talent, with the African connection at Wimbledon this year, Ons Jabeur, she has avenged her painful defeat in last year's Wimbledon final to set up a last-four clash against Aryna Sabalenka. So Jabeur came from behind to beat defending champion Alina Rybakina 6-7, 6-4 and 6-1 in their quarterfinal to right that past wrong. And Sabalenka powered into a second Wimbledon semi-final with a 6-2, 6-4 win over Madison Keys. Then in the men's draw, equally as exciting as Carlos Alcaraz has moved into the last four at SW19 for the first time, and he will now face Russian third seed Daniil Medvedev. Alcaraz beat Danish sixth seed Holger Rune, another 20-year-old in the mix, 7-6, 6-4 and 6-4 in his quarterfinal. Then unseeded Chris Eubanks, his dream of unbelievable run, in fact, was ended by Russian third seed Medvedev in a thrilling 5-set contest, but he certainly did himself proud. Now, let's get back on the road for cycling, and equally as exciting, Jasper Philipsen has made a name for himself this year. He secured his 4th stage win of the 23 Tour de France as he produced another very powerful sprint to claim victory on stage 11. So the Belgian worked his way up through the bunch and then kicked off the wheel of Dylan Groenewegen, who came in second. Now, the last rider to win 4 bunch sprints in a single Tour de France was Briton Mark Cavendish in 2021. So Philipsen now extends his lead in the green jersey. I think he's probably got a few more of them in him, while Jonas Vingegaard, he keeps the overall leader's yellow jersey. And that's a wrap of your sport for this morning. I know a lot of you heading out to work right now, so let's get you there safely and then get into today's weather.
Thank you so much, G-Man. Yes, let's dive into the traffic right now and see if we can help you on the roads. And if you are in the Goodwood area in Cape Town, to be specific, there is congestion on the N7 South at the N1 inbound ramp. So if you're in the area, do expect delays. Sticking to Cape Town now and moving over to Athlone, to be specific now, there is a stationary vehicle on the N2 inbound, and this after Jan Smuts Drive. So one lane is blocked, so please again do approach this area with caution, and anybody heading out on the roads, do buckle up, stay safe, and plan accordingly. From the roads, let's head to the sky and see what's happening in the latest when it comes to weather. Final report on weather news this morning, and it appears as if the rains and snow over large parts of the country have subsided somewhat. Now, the SA Weather Service has, however, issued warning for wind leading to localized reduced visibility due to swirling dust and sand, which is expected over the Richtersveld and the Namakwa municipalities in the Northern Cape. Now, extremely high fire danger conditions are also expected over the Richtersveld and Namakwa municipalities in the Northern Cape. Well, from our weather news, it's time to dive into those temperatures one last time. Now, starting us off in Polokwane. Now, you can see your day starting at a minimum temperature of 17, moving up to a max of 20. Not much rainfall coming through there. Mbombela sees day starting at 8 up to 22. Pretoria, a chillier start of 4 up to 19. And Johannesburg, 3 degrees to start the day up to a moderately chilly 17 degrees Celsius. Carrying on and moving over to Mahikeng now, where it seems like you have a chilly start, 2 degrees to start the day up to a high of 19. Klerksdorp sees the day starting at 1 up to 18. Kimberley also a chilly start of 1 degree, moving up to only 19. And Bloemfontein, the chill continues from -2. You move up to a maximum of 20 degrees Celsius. Carrying on and moving over to the coast now, and in Richards Bay, the day starts at a low of 10 up to a high of 21. Lots of rainfall coming through. Pietermaritzburg, the rain isn't as much in your side, 5 up to 20. Durban, a little bit of rainfall from 13 up to 21. And Umtata, sunny skies from 4 up to 20 degrees Celsius. Carrying over to East London now, your day starts at a low of 9 up to 20. Cradock sees a chilly start of 0 up to a max of 20 degrees. GQ Gqeberha, 6 up to a high of 19. And George, 7 is your low, up to a high of 18 degrees Celsius. Carrying on and moving over to the Mother City now, where the day starts at a low of 10 up to a high of 23 degrees. Worcester sees the day starting at 9 up to a high of 24. Sutherland, sunny skies from 2 degrees up to 15. And Uppington, the sun continues from 6 degrees. You move up to a high of 23 degrees Celsius. For now, though, it's time to take one last dive into those sunrise views and get a smile on our dial. And starting us off for this final edition, we've got Jeremy out in Langebaan, sitting on the rock, showing off magical moments. I love this one. Something very different to what we used to, but I'm here for it. Omi and Kaimouth comes through next, sharing these tangerine shades glimmering over the horizon, and I had to really take a second look at this to figure out what was going on, but look at the silver lining on that one, or should we say the gold lining. Junior is in Midrand and coming through with this shot, capturing the sun sparkling whilst the birds fly around, and a perfect moment there. Beautifully captured. And lastly, Cindy from Mandini, sharing purples that light up the sky like a pastel painting. And I'm here for all the art that you've sent through this morning. Mzansi, thank you for all the incredible pictures that you've shared and elevated our mood with. But we'll do it all again in the next day. So we'll see you in the morning, 063-408-8863, where we'll do all these sunrise pictures again. Oh yes, I'll see you there.
We're going to be putting the latest Wunderkind on the block, the Samsung bespoke microwave oven, to the test with a bit of an air fryer recipe. Yes, it is a crispy jalapeno cheese dip. It's nachos on a whole nother level, and you're going to need that energy as we get into some of the rules behind netball ahead of the impending Netball World Cup. If you like the cheese and you like the spice, stick around.
Stand your best chance of beating colds and flu this winter and being one of 2 winners of 5,000 Rand each with Carenza Paracy. To find out how the triple effect of Carenza Paracy makes it an essential on your shopping list this winter and how you can win 5,000 Rand in cash, catch Expresso from the 3rd to the 12th of July and manage cold and flu symptoms this season. Simply reply to the competition posts on the Expresso social media pages using hashtag Carenza Paracy and hashtag BeatWinterFlu. T's and C's apply.
welcome back. Let's talk netball. Jeremy Ditsiso, remember that name. He is an NSA A badge accredited netball umpire, which is worth talking about. The highest ranking, in fact, that you can obtain in the country right now. And he's knocking on the door of international stardom. In 2018, he traveled to Australia, where he officiated at an international under-18 tournament and oversaw the final between Australia and Samoa. And Jeremy is very kindly joined us bright and early in studio to chat about the rigors of being an umpire at the highest level, to take us inside the unbelievably fast-paced world of netball. Jeremy, thank you so much for being here.
It's a huge pleasure being here.
I love you, Guy, because I love the sport. So I played rugby, and there was always a generation within your school or your system of netball players, rugby players that kind of teamed up until you got to the opportunities beyond school. And then the rugby players would have every opportunity, and the netball players could maybe play a bit of club, maybe a little bit of varsity, and that's changing.
Yeah.
And that's because the structures are changing around it.
Exactly.
That means every level of the sporting system needs to go up, so we need our umpires to be knocking on that door as well. How does one find their way to this role? I love the sport. I love the energy, the kinetic energy within that sport. What got you hooked?
I think I used to be a provincial player, and then I played provincially, and as my umpire's career started off, I had to make like a huge decision. Am I going to go into umpiring or playing? And obviously as a male player, even though currently for male players in South Africa there's like a pathway that's actually being created.
There is a circuit,
Thank you,
yeah.
South Africa, that's like amazing. But I saw myself actually that I've got better opportunities as an umpire, so I started focusing on my umpire's career, and I think that was one of the best choices I've ever made, because for me as a person,
Clearly,
as a person, like the pathway is clearly open, and there's opportunities as an umpire.
But you also get to inform that journey on both sides now,
Definitely.
and in paving a way for others to follow in your footsteps, whether that's to play competitively or to make a profession of it in a different way. I love the fact that you've just done it, dude, but now you've got to deliver in what feels like the most unforgiving. And we always used to get found out, because I'd always be like, I can do this. It's a different kind of skill set to master, and I would imagine as an umpire, it's quite difficult. How do you deal with the pressure?
I think dealing with the pressure in South Africa in general, the umpire sphere is quite competitive. So you have like a lot of guys coming through the ranks, and it's literally competitive. Just last night, we found out that one of my very close friends, he actually got his international talent identification status.
Wow.
So there are opportunities, but it's
The
so
world is watching.
competitive. It's so competitive, but literally staying on top of the game. I think as umpires, it's not just about knowing your rules. There's like a full package towards you as a person. The assessors look at you on court, off court, your behavior in general. So it's like a full, so it's not just about picking up a whistle, knowing your rules. There's like a whole full package that is literally being looked at as a person.
And you are an ambassador. And I think any of the international level refs that are going to be representing South Africa effectively are ambassadors to the rest of the world. So added pressure on top of that, which is great, but it also speaks to the emotional investment. When you talk about players, this could be their shot. The coach, this could be the year they've been waiting for after 10 years of failures. There is so much energy off the court. How do you deal with that when players are at each other, when a coach is overstepping those bounds, when a rule is broken to that extent? How do you take control of situations like that?
I think as umpires, we know our responsibility on court, because the match or the level of play can only be advanced if the level of umpiring is obviously advanced. That's very important. And then also as umpires, we are protected through the rules. So we are going to have a demonstration later on. So we are protected where we have steps according to the rule book that we can take in order to ensure there's discipline on court, discipline with the bench, discipline even with the spectators. So we are protected by the rules. We make sure.
I'm glad you added the spectators in the mix there.
If you wanna show I've got my rules, it's going to back me up. So, but obviously that comes with years of experience, years of actually practicing.
Owning your space.
Most
Yeah,
definitely.
completely. Well, we're going to see you own your space in just a moment as you take us through some of the rules, because there are some minor infringements and some pretty big ones, and each one has repercussions. But if you're wanting to get into the mindset of a netball umpire, and I'm speaking specifically to all those who are aspiring to take that next step up, stick around. Jeremy ain't going nowhere. We're going to get into some of the rules and the repercussions for breaking them in just a moment.
Thank you very much, Graham. Right now, we are geared up for something incredible. We are literally warming up the taste buds this winter and getting you ready for the rugby season with a perfect for winter Games Day snack. We're talking about a crispy, cheesy jalapeno warm dip made using, of course, the incredible Samsung bespoke microwave oven. So let's see how this baby is going to be bringing the gears. Look, dude.
Look at this baby.
If you want to give me a birthday or Christmas present? This is nice. This is nice.
It is nice. And we're going to talk about it right now because there's so many things you can do with it. It's like an oven, an air fryer. It can steam, it can grill. It's insane.
I love the fact that it's all in one because, I mean, we all know back in the day, you had an appliance for every single thing, okay? And it filled up your kitchen. Now we are just compacting it, which is incredible because sustainability is, of course, the future. And the eco mode significantly with this Samsung bespoke microwave oven reduces energy consumption with the industry's lowest standby power. Now, this bespoke microwave oven can also air fry. It can steam, it can cook, it can grill, it can do desserts. So no need to heat the oven and wait. You simply prepare and select home desserts button with one simple touch. It's that easy. It does the work for you. Now, Samsung's new ceramic enamel interior is also very highly scratch resistant, which I think is fantastic. 99% bacteria free and very easy to clean. And this keeps your microwave hygienic and durable for longer. Okay, my friend. So you take me through this recipe. I'm just here to help.
Just enjoy it, man. Just enjoy it because pretty much this thing's doing all the work. I think the only thing it doesn't do is mix the ingredients for you as well.
We're getting there.
We're getting there. It's not too far off. So this one is really cheesy. This is something that has been...
Cheesy as in cheese, not cheesy as in... You know what I'm saying.
This is almost dubbed like if you were to imagine a taste, imagine like a jalapeno popper, but like the sauce and the insides of that and just like, oh, it's beautiful, man. So let's get into this. What we've got here is like a lot of cheeses, right? We've got a sour cream cheese, we've got sour cream, we've got cream cheese, we've got cheddar cheese over here, and then we've got mozzarella, right? So cheeses to start with are all going in. Then we've got the jalapeno, which is giving the inspiration from the popper. We've got some chives and salt and pepper. So what I'm going to do is get straight into it. We're going to mix that all up, get all our cheeses in there, and maybe I can get some of your assistance there because we've got a lot going in here.
Of course, my
friend. There's a spoon for you on that side.
Thank you.
Yeah. And essentially, once we've got the ingredients in, we're going to mix it all up because it needs to then go into its preparation.
And all of these
phase.
as well?
Yeah, all of those.
So these tend to be quite spicy. They can be quite spicy. So it's really up to you how much you want to put in there, but we're just going to go all of it.
Bring on the heat. You know what I noticed with these? If you are like not too tolerant with your heat, you can actually take some of the seeds out and it actually like reduces the intensity quite a bit. You bite into one and it gives it that
Well, if you want to be the one that's going to go pick out seeds, you know, you're more than welcome. A little bit of salt and pepper?
Yes, just a little smidge of salt and pepper. And then essentially mix this all up. So if you can pass me that big little spatula over there,
we go,
I'll get my mix on. And this is like really the fun part because I didn't think that cheeses would combine so easily. I'm like, don't you need to melt it first? But believe it or not, it works and it works so well.
It's going to melt because we are going to be kind of heating it up for a while.
100%.
But we'll show you how easy this is just now.
Yeah, so I've basically got this all mixed up. We're going to pop it into one of these like little baking trays over here. And bear in mind that what I'm actually using right now, this black thing that I'm placing it on, it's not just like a random tray. This actually comes a part of the bespoke microwave itself as well. So this thing you can use to like place food on top. It doesn't matter. It's made for purpose.
Right.
Now, as I'm done here, as you can see, I haven't gotten it.
Roo, I'm sorry, but my OCD is
just like
freaking me out here for a second.
Waste not.
Yeah. Okay, look at that.
So this is the cool part. So you can see we've pretty much got like this jalapeno sensation coming through here.
Let me tell you, it smells fantastic.
Yeah, it does, really, and it's a good balance. Now, I've got some breadcrumbs over here, so we're going to just pop that on top
look
of
at
this.
you.
Yeah, give that a little crispiness, because obviously you imagine if you were to dig into this, crispy on the top, and then all that like juicy moisture.
That nice
flavor
gooiness at the bottom.
All right, so now enter the hero. We've got the bespoke microwave over here, and this thing is really simple. What you can see firstly is all the different options that you're going to want to use, right? So you've got grill, steam, etc. I'm going for the standard grill. We've got temperature options over here. We're sitting on 200. How do I change that? Simply bring it down to, 180 quickly. Oh, sorry, I just worked the time there for a second.
Yeah.
Temperature, bring it down to 180 for this one. And then the time is going to be about, let's say 20 minutes. So let's just bring it down to a young 20 there. Oh, you don't have to push it. Check it out.
Look at that.
Touch. Nice. Simple as that, all right? And then we are ready to go. Voila. But you've got to put something in there first.
I was about to say, should we not put our dip in there?
Yeah, let's just stop that
because
for 1
it doesn't
second.
cook from afar, you see.
And I prepared. I've been a little bit
Oh,
naughty.
look at
so
you.
Yeah, I just dived into the future a little bit and got you something
Okay, hang
special.
on. Is that not hot brew?
It's not that hot, so let me
Okay,
just...
I've got these little lobster fingers over here.
Nice. Just be careful because the plate I know is
All right,
very,
all
very
right, all
hot.
right.
All right, so there you have our final product. Obviously, this would simply go in, and like you just saw earlier, we'd pop that in for about 20 minutes at 180, and voila.
Now you have to do the
Start with
process
that.
again. Come
yeah,
on.
do the process. Let me show you how easy it is.
Okay.
Just again. So once, change the temperature. All right, we go to 180, and voila.
Time.
Change that time all the way to 20 minutes. Look how easy this is, man. It's the first time I'm using this, and it's simple.
Start button.
Boom. How easy
Done.
is that? This is literally my first time using this thing. It's so simple and there's so many options. Like we said, as we fast forward into the future, 20 minutes time, you've got something looking like this. As we mentioned, crispy on the top, all the flavor on the inside.
Yes,
and
please.
the dipping time, of course, coming through with our
Oh, are you
nachos.
giving it to me?
Yes, of course, my man. The honor is all.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with the little scoop chip here. You see?
Oh yes. Oh yes. Ooh.
Okay, wait. Oh, look at that.
Look at that. Oh.
Okay, I'm gonna go for it.
Ratios are perfect.
Oh, look.
Crisp on
We
top.
love cheese.
The cheese is melted. But what is the taste test going to
Oh
say?
my goodness.
Oh, you're making me jealous. I'm going to dive into this as well, bro.
Oh my goodness.
Whew.
That is fantastic.
Whoa!
Right?
Was that the microwave or was that the... I don't know,
I think
but...
Wildest wanted to outdo me with his reaction, which is fantastic. But yes, this is amazing. It really is. It tastes fantastic. Now, when it comes to your kitchen, only the best appliances will do. We know that. We want the best in our kitchens. And with the Samsung Bespoke range, you can make feasts set for a king, just like this one. Oh, you're going for a second one, Ray?
Like a king right now, yeah.
Normally this guy is looking after what he eats, but now he's falling off the wagon, Ray.
Can't resist.
Do it like this. Get it, move it, own it. Do it like this.
Bespoke.
Only you can make my day.
Watch South Africa versus Scotland live in France in a once-in-a-lifetime rugby experience brought to you by Clover. Catch the box in rugby's ultimate showpiece, hosted by Springbok legend Skulk Burger. 5 lucky winners and their partners will be winging their way to France. Plus, take a cruise to the Mediterranean island paradise of Ibiza. Buy any Clover product to enter. Watch Expresso Breakfast Show every weekday morning for more information on how you can win.
Made with love by Clover.
Five lucky winners and their partners will be
Welcome back, Mzansi. It's your Feel Good Breakfast Show. What an incredible show it's been already. We're diving into action. We're diving into all the hype of the Netball World Cup. And we're diving into the law when it comes to playing on the netball court. We're talking about Jeremy Ditsitso. He's back with us this morning and is about to demonstrate some of the common infringements a player would get blown up for. Now, I know a lot of us that aren't familiar with the game are dying to find out more, seeing as this incredible occasion is happening. So let me explain this to you. Breaking a minor rule in netball leads to the opposition being awarded a free pass, which is a pass taken from the same spot where the infringement occurred. So breaking a major netball rule is naturally considered to be more serious and results in the opposition being awarded a penalty pass. If that didn't make sense to you, then don't worry, because Jeremy is here to serve us. Bro, I loved your conversation. I loved what's happening here, but let's get into this game, the nitty-gritty, so that I think when Mzansi's watching, they can understand, get behind our team and support them. So let's talk about this infringement thing. Makes sense to me, yeah?
So in netball, you get minor infringements. You also have major infringements. So a major infringement will actually lead to a penalty pass, and a minor will lead to a free pass. So I'll just do a few minor infringements. Okay. So a minor infringement would be once you control the ball to me. So if somebody throws the ball to you, you've got 3 seconds to pass the ball. If you can't pass the ball within 3 seconds, I'm going to take my whistle and take held ball. So that means that you stood with the ball for more than 3 seconds.
I don't want to hear that whistle. That sounds angry.
So the second one is, let's say you pass the ball to me, right? And I've got full control over the ball. And let's say while I've got full control, the ball falls. And then I pick it up again. Then I'm going to be blown for what we refer to as the replay of the ball. Okay. So that means you have
a minor infringement as well?
So it's like a free pass for it.
So what is when you commit a minor infringement, you get the opposition gets awarded?
The opposition gets the ball, but nobody stands out of play. So everybody can still take part of play, but when it's a penalty pass, then somebody has to stand out of play, which means you can't take part in play when you're out of play.
So that's literally like I can pass it straight to someone close to the goal and go for a point, right?
There we go.
All
Okay,
right.
so we're going to get there, right? The other minor infringements would be, like, for example, offside. Let's say you're in an area where you're not supposed to be as a player. So we've got 7 positions on court, and every position has a specific place where they're supposed to play. So if somebody goes offside, offside.
So in soccer, you get offside where you like behind the team. Does it work the same in netball?
It's not the same in netball, most definitely not. So in netball, you've got a specific position that you're playing, and that means you've got specific areas on court where you're allowed to go. So once you go into an area where you're not supposed to go, you get blown for offside.
So those letters at the back of the players tells you where their
supposed to
position
be.
is.
So you can now imagine how much an umpire has to focus to actually ensure the player is in the correct position the whole time.
You've got to be aware of both sides of the game, everyone's position, and their demarcated area that they've got to play in.
So we just need some respect in Zanzi because it's a lot of hard work to be an umpire. Then the next one would be, so I spoke about offside. Then we speak about the short pass. So let's say you standing over here and I'm here. Then you can't pass the ball to me because obviously a third person cannot come in between us, and that will now be known as a short pass. So if you see an umpire on TV at the World Cup doing short pass, they will just say, short pass. That means there's no space for a third person to come
and intervene to potentially stop that pass from taking place.
Exactly.
All right.
And then the other one would be breaking. Breaking means that you went into an offside area before the whistle was blown, and then you've got another one. So the netball court is divided into 3 thirds, right? So you can't throw a ball over a whole third, then it becomes an infringement, also minor, over a third.
You've got to progress through all the way to that section.
Exactly. So those are all the minors. So for minors, it's very easy, you know, it's like, don't do it anymore because it's literally not looking good on court. Then we get to majors. That is now where players now...
And already your face has changed there. I can see that no one wants to be committing majors here.
Remember, netball is a non-contact sport, and I think that is like the most rhetorical thing that was ever, because it's so much contact on court, especially with the speed of the game progressing, the game becoming faster, etc. So the major infringements would be contact. So let's say you are there with the ball, and then as the ball is coming, then I'm doing this to you.
Yo, Jeremy got some gains on him. Woo! Okay,
so then the umpire would blow the whistle, contact.
Okay, major infringement.
Major. So contact, that means the person that committed the infringement must now stand beside you, and then I take the ball, which means you can't take part in play. So the team now only has 6 players on court that can actually take part. So that's for contact.
And the whistle sounded very similar. Is it a difference in the major and the minor?
Okay, so what happens is that once the major becomes intentional, once it becomes once
Like
it's
you've had enough
happening-
warnings
exactly.
now, like, come
so
on.
then, as an umpire, we also get the opportunity where we can use a louder whistle. So those are other steps that we can also take to protect us. Like, you know, stop.
Don't mess with Jeremy.
Exactly. So those are like 4 contacts. Then you also have obstruction. Obstruction means like, so if you've got the ball, then I need to be away from you 3 feet.
Okay.
So I always tell my players at school, and once I'm talking, I'm going to give a shout out to all my beautiful Durbanville kids.
Hey, Durbanville, what's happening?
Okay. So once you've got the ball right and you get into the center circle, so I always tell people this: if you don't know how far 3 feet is, go look at the size of a center circle because that is 3 feet. So you need to be 3 feet away from the person with the ball. If you are not 3 feet away, then it's also known as obstruction. So the umpire would say, okay, you are too close to the player, obstruction.
Beautiful stuff.
So obstruction means you are too close to the player, you're making it impossible for the player to pass the ball, so you also need to be beside in the way.
All right. Now, listen, Jeremy has a plethora of information when it comes to netball. Obviously, he is at the top when it comes to this Netball World Cup. He's going to be the law. He's going to be the one you want to listen to, and also someone that's been so involved in the game. So thank you for the work that you're doing. Also on the ground, I think it's so important right now, especially when we see where this can go, and for having people as incredible as you behind it all.
It's a pleasure being here.
All right, one more whistle maybe from the man himself. You heard it.
And that's our cue.
My nerves, man, I got it.
Hectic, man. I like, just want to stand at the ready. But that signaled the fact that we are calling on all the baking enthusiasts out there. Put your baking skills to the test and indulge in the ultimate winter baking adventure with Golden Cloud's exciting competition.
Yeah, but bloody, if you thought you were here to talk, you're not, okay? Just make us some churros, please.
Here we go, my
From
friend.
scratch, made in the air fryer. We love it. So here's the deal. You stand the chance to win a weekly cash prize of 5,000 Rand every week for the next 4 weeks. And all you have to do is whip up a warming winter indulgence treat using Golden Cloud products. It's something we've done before a million times on the show. And I have no doubt you are going to blow us away this time. So once your bake is ready, snap a photo and share it with us on our WhatsApp line. That's 079 378 9769. Or you can just drop by our Expresso social media pages and use that all-important hashtag Golden Cloud Winter Treats.
Just like that. Plus, not only do you have the chance to win the weekly cash prize, but you also stand the chance to win the grand prize, which is?
It's big, man. It's very big. So how do you get there? Well, simply post a photo of your family baking together with Golden Cloud. So we want to see the whole family getting stuck in. Send it to that WhatsApp line. Again, it's a different number, 079 378 9769. Or on the Expresso social media pages using the hashtag, as I said, Golden Cloud Winter Treats. And you could be the winner of a KitchenAid mixer valued at nearly 14,000 Rand. There is a reason why you build your kitchen around the KitchenAid mixer. Okay, most people will do that. They'll get the mixer, then they'll build their whole house around it. Okay, it's worth it.
Now, of course, double the excitement, double the prizes. Remember to enter both competitions separately from 12 July to 9 August for an opportunity to win rather big. Now, T's and C's can be found on our website, expressoshow.com.
You've been very hard at work.
Brew, I'm dipping these churros, lacquer chocolate, cinnamon
Look, I'm a
sugar.
traditionalist until I see the chocolate. I'm like, no, I just want cinnamon and sugar. And then you see the chocolate, you're like, oh, yeah. And incidentally, Nicole, our amazing in-house chef, made these in the air fryer. Come on. So we want to see what you can do to beat back winter.
That's it.
Exquisite, boy. Sure.
.co.za.
It's my feel good.
Now you can generously give a voice to Storytime. Visit our library of homegrown audio stories at cadbury.co.za.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome to it. It's wonderful to be hanging out with you on this Thursday morning. And right now it is time to announce this week's Oma of the Week. And listen, you gotta stay tuned for this one because it is special. We received so many special nominations, but I think this one really caught our attention, which was sent in by Tinswala Nwamba. That says, our Oma Elsie at age 98 is an active lady with style and has a great sense of humor. Biologically, she is a grandmother to 24 children and a great-grandmother to a little over 32 children. But her big heart makes a mother and grandmother of the nation, for sure.
Wow.
I mean,
that is insane. I absolutely love that. And honestly, there is no doubt that Oma Elsie deserves to be crowned Expresso Oma of the Week. Can you think how big those family days would be? Yeah.
But how gezellig must it be? Everyone just gets together and everyone sees each other. I wonder how often do they actually see each other?
Yeah.
And, you know, what the vibe is like when they do. But thank you very much. What an incredible, incredible nomination. And thank you to everyone out there who sent in their nominations. We would love to read them all. But you know what? I hope this serves as a great reminder to love and honor those special women in our lives and to appreciate them out loud whilst we can still, have them around. So if you're lucky enough to have your Oma and Opa live nearby, then ring them up or show them love with some Oma rucks. I mean, they will absolutely love that.
Speaking of, bro, you're going to grab yourself somewhere. Yep, it's dipping time.
Get in here, in my agent suit vibe here.
Cheers, my man.
Cheers, my brother. Happy Thursday.
Ooh, now it's happy.
There is more in every dip with Oma Rusks.
Thank you so much for that beautiful emotional dedication. Now let's tap into everybody's emotion. In South Africa, rugby is not just a game. It's in our DNA. It's part of our identity, a symbol of resilience and a source of unbreakable camaraderie that unites us as a nation and has done at pivotal moments in our history. So as we get overly excited for the rugby season ahead, of course it's a World Cup year, the anticipation grows, fueling our nation's excitement to witness the clash of the titans on the biggest global stage. Now, one person who is particularly excited is an ex-Bok who I don't think has ever really retired, Skalk Burger. Here's what he had to say.
The games, I think that really is important for us. It's the first one against Scotland, down in Marseille. I'm going to be there. I haven't been down to the south of France for a while, but it's massively important for our pool because we get through that one, you would think that we're going to qualify for the quarters. And that gives us a bit of leeway to say, okay, straight after that, what's the next big game? And that's going to be the Irish game on the 23rd or the 24th in Paris.
Oh, I love it. Thank you, Skalky. We love you guys. Thank you for everything that you continue to do for the brand and for the Boks. Now, with a season of nail-biting games ahead of us in celebration of Clover's very exciting, life-changing rugby experience competition, I've decided to put your knowledge and their knowledge on France, rugby and cruising to the test. You might not often be able to combine all three streams, but we're doing it today. And there is a twist. Every answer that the gents get wrong, they're going to have to eat a hidden French delicacy.
Whoa.
You choose the box, but be careful because not all of them contain sweet treats.
This looks like a snail
fork. No, I was asking you an evil laugh.
Fork.
Does it look like a snail fork?
I'm telling you.
No,
So I
don't
wonder,
even put that out there.
It's quite
Isn't that a
fancy
French
that
thing,
you
right?
actually recognize that. Escargot or
Escargot.
escarstay, it doesn't matter. You're going to have to chow whatever box you choose. Okay, so we've got a lot of questions. Some of them are quite nuanced and tough, okay? Some of them being as colorful as you are, I think you might just get off the bat.
Are we going to go 1-1 or?
Yeah, I think so.
Because
Because I've got a lot of questions. So we'll go 1-1.
Right.
If you get it wrong, you eat, otherwise you pass the
What
buck.
do we just eat? Any of these or do we choose?
You can choose a box and chow, okay? And you can be random, you can let the vibe guide you, I don't mind. So, Evis, I'll start with you from proximity, okay? Which year did the South African national rugby team, the Springboks, win their first Rugby World
Cup?
Cup?
Get that, come on, 95.
Booyah!
Yes. They became alive.
We did, and we were there. Congratulations, you don't get anything. You escort, go on your way. Escort, stay, Ryle, for just a second. True or false, France has hosted the Rugby World Cup twice in its history.
False.
Okay. My friend.
Escar, stay.
Incorrect. No, they have. This is their second, yeah.
No.
So now you get to choose a
This
box.
doesn't count. Okay, this one.
Hey, it looks good. Go for it.
Oh, wow.
So what you don't
have to
upset the
open it
box,
like a
open
special
it, and ta-da!
I'm gonna take it out.
Do it, man.
This is a macaroon, right?
A
This is
macaron. You gotta say it with that funny.
Viva la macaron.
I love it. It's the Indian French. Yeah.
Right. So
Absolutely
this
beautiful.
one goes out of the game, right?
Yeah, that's out of the game,
I'll just
buddy.
put this in my bag?
Yeah, you can just take it home. Well done. So once the box is open, obviously it's off the table. Ivis, what term is used to describe a cruise ship's dedicated area for passengers to relax, swim, and enjoy recreational activities?
I want to say like a recreational area, but I know there's a funny name. I've been on cruise ship before, and they always said like, come to the Lido or Lido deck.
The Smorgas.
Is that right?
Let's see. He was cruising.
Really?
And you're cruising
A
to the
Lido
right
deck?
answer.
Come on.
Lido deck.
Oh,
Hey.
get it in there.
Well done, man. You live in a different class of life.
I am so relieved.
You Escar stay for now. Buddy, let's move on to this one. You should know this. Ryle, which French city is known for its passion for rugby and is often referred to as the capitale of rugby in France?
Capital of rugby, because it's not Paris, because that's love. So like,
Rugby
I don't
is
even
loving.
know, like, Toulouse? Is it?
Booyah! Well done, man.
Well, yes, actually.
Toulouse obviously has an incredible rugby playing culture there. Toulouse is one of the best teams in the league. Well done, man. We might not eat anything, man.
Let's go.
In which year did the South African rugby team, the Springboks, Ewan, in case you were wondering, win their third Rugby World Cup?
Wasn't that just before COVID? 2019?
Booyah!
Yes.
I kind of grouped 2019, 2020, and 21 all as one kind of a long year, but you
I
did
just
it.
remember that it was this huge thing before, and then everything stopped. Yeah. Okay.
And then,
got it.
and then it was no more. I love it.
I think
Come
we
on,
can
guys,
wrong
get
because
some
the viewers-
wrong.
I know you guys want to see what's under here.
I
so-
do. Okay, I'm gonna spice it up just a little bit now. Which popular river in France rises in the Alps and flows 120 miles south to the Mediterranean Sea and is known for its scenic cruises through vineyards and charming towns?
Yes, Ryle. Which river?
The River Rhine?
Rhine.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Why do I have a feeling he's close?
I don't know.
I just want you to be wrong.
I don't even know the names of rivers, so I'm gonna go with the River Rhine. I don't even know where that is. But
Rhine.
Rhine. But you got to say
The
it.
Rhone.
Oh, that was
no,
close.
River.
What are you saying?
Pick a box.
You were so close that you were absolutely
Pick
wrong.
a box.
Pick a box, baby. Pick a box.
I don't know what to do. Okay.
Come on, look
okay,
around,
let's go,
look
let's go,
around.
What is this?
Oh, French
What is that?
pâté.
What is
It's
that?
French pâté. I would imagine it's a little bit of.
It's a bit of a-
It's not
it's a
going to be.
liver
It's going to be chicken liver pâté. I'd love to say it's duck liver pâté, which would be.
Okay, let's.
Back full of protein.
Take
This
some
is
of it.
probably the first time you've been able to eat protein on the show in its unadulterated form. Mooi.
Hey, that's nice. It's like a. I think it's a. I'm not sure actually.
If you get it wrong, you have to eat another box now. You got it wrong, right? No, that's chicken liver pâté, undoubtedly. Well done, son. Well
it's a
done.
pâté of some sorts, yeah.
Okay, Mr. Cruise. What is the term used to describe a cruise ship's journey along a specific route?
That will be the cruise itinerary.
Nice.
Like a cruise specialist.
Yeah,
Who are you, bro?
If anyone wants to collaborate,
Hey, look, if anyone is looking for an influencer or an impactor to sell their cruise, well done. Have you not eaten anything?
No.
Okay, here's the
I feel
deal.
kinda
Okay,
bad. I really do.
I feel really bad as
I
well.
don't want to get anything wrong.
Buddy, name one famous South African rugby player who has represented the Springboks and played professional rugby in France.
I mean, like Skalkburger?
Probably.
Probably, surely.
played in every country.
I'm gonna go with Skalky.
Okay.
Hopefully.
No.
No, Skalky, let me down.
So have a look here. Brian Abano, I saw in the airport. I love you, Brian. Cheslin Colby, Joe Finnico, Paul Willemse, Bernard Leroux, and Peter de Villiers are the men. So pick another box, buddy. Pick another box.
Let's go. I've done 1 year. Let's
Come
go
on, you haven't done
this
anything
side.
on
What
this
is
side.
this? Tum.
Oh, that's onion
The
soup.
onion.
That's onion soup.
Onion. As long
They
as
give
it
you a
smells.
fork to eat that with.
So you and I feel awful that you haven't been able to do anything, buddy. I feel like you've
Why do I
lost
feel
out
like
on...
you know exactly what's
I have no idea what's in this box, but I feel like just to be...
Winning the prize winner.
Can we? Are we done now with the game?
We are done with the game.
Let's reveal
Congratulations.
to the viewers.
Ewan has won.
What would it have been?
So we've got truffle oil, which would have been quite exciting.
Oh, thank goodness.
Oysters.
Not a fan. Oh, little mini croissants.
You need to combine the croissants and the pate.
Open that one already, right?
And here we... Oh, look at that. Is that some brie?
You missed something, bro.
That's steak tartare. But
These are snails, right?
This is escargot. Are you going to escargot or escarstay, my friend?
So this
have a
is
little
what's going to
taste.
happen. So we're going to escargot it into the onion soup.
Oh, nice. And?
That is fantastic.
It is fantastic because French
I
cuisine
love a good snail.
sets the standard, man. Absolutely love it. Well done to both of you. Clearly the chias is strong. So get ready for an extraordinary lived French adventure and stand a chance to be a part of the exhilarating clash between South Africa and Scotland, where it all begins in the vibrant stadiums of France. Plus, 5 of you incredibly lucky people and your partners, or even more lucky, would embark on a luxurious cruise to the enchanting paradise of Ibiza. Simply buy any Clover product and keep your till slip handy. Make sure you do not throw it away. Then dial *120 *560# and follow the prompts to enter. It really is that simple. Most importantly, keep watching Expresso daily to find out more, but you can go over to clover.co.za to get all of the answers. I'm going to do the same just to join the team. It's really, hey, with a bit of this. France!
It's good. It's actually not that bad. This is the first time I'm eating a snail, man.
You know, but he normally has garlic and cheesy. And
Absolutely beautiful. Stick around. More performances, more energy coming your way. I'm going to have another one.
Bonjour. If you're as excited about the Rugby World Cup in France as we are, then listen up. Total Energies has an amazing opportunity just for you. You can join the Total Energies Loyalty Club today. Spend 700 Rand or more, then you stand a chance to win double tickets to the highly anticipated South Africa vs. Ireland game on the 23rd of September in France. So get down to your nearest Total Energies today to make sure that you do not miss out on the experience of a lifetime. That competition closes on the 15th of July, so get on it. All the T's and C's do apply.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back as we grapple with our garlic breath. Snails for the first time. You've got to have that kind of show, man. All this day needs is a bit more of a lach, my friend, so let's do it.
Let's do it. Now, the saying is indeed true that there is no master of pronunciation, or should I say pronunciating tete? I don't know. Well, let's have a look at today's lach of the day.
Everyone must try this cacio e pepe.
I'm brushing with the fefe. Time to feed the cat.
Eating the chipotlette. Watering the plant. Making the pancake. Making the soup with salt and pepper.
It's the fact that she is laughing harder at herself than anyone else is laughing at her. We are here for that. Buddy, thank you so much.
Yeah, that was okay. I get it now.
Time now for a real performance. Let's get it in.
On the Expresso show, where it's going to be amazing. Stick around with us. We are back with South African duo Inkabi Zezwe. These gentlemen are absolutely fantastic, and we can look forward to an incredible song right now, Umbayimbayi, that went platinum in literally 2 months with an accompanying music video that gone over 6 million views. Here they are with Umbayimbayi.
Yeah. Sengizokuthengela umbhayimbayi wena. Uthula indaba. Khona uzombona. Njalo, njalo, njalo. Sengizokuthengela umbhayimbayi mala. Uthula indaba zangakini. Khona uzombona. Njalo, njalo, njalo. Uzombona. Njalo. Uzombona njalo, njalo. Uzombona njalo, 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 njalo. Uzombona tembala njalo. Uzombona njalo, njalo. Aw njalo, 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 njalo. Lo awamuphethe ngalanga. Into ngayazi uphethe nyakanya. Indone yamanzi lesisiphalaphala. Noma bemzonda bemekababala. Umengathani boye indababa. Usuka sami intombi engalakazi. Ave ngikhuluma njalo, njalo. Oh babo njalo. Sengizokuthengela umbhayimbayi wethu. Uthula indaba zangakini. Khona uzongibona. Njalo, njalo, njalo. Uzombona. Njalo. Uzombona tembala. Njalo. Uzombona njalo. 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 Njalo, njalo, njalo. Uzombona tembala. Njalo. Uzombona njalo. Njalo. Njalo, njalo. 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 Njalo, njalo, njalo. Umqabula sheshe ngizokulobola ngeshi. Awuphithise lentombi enhloko ushiki. Isibhuka nyama nandishikini. Ngayiqhuba namanje siyekini. Phethe umbhayimbayi suka mana bade. Shaya iphelele labafana bade. Ngekukiphi ungangijwayezi namashende. Funa kikiza la ekhaya kumamatende. Otubula. 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 Otubula tembala. Otubula mjalo. Tabazangakini. Otubula. 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 Otubula tembala. Otubula mjalo. Tabazangakini. Sengizokuthengela umbhayimbayi mala. Uthula indaba zangakini. Khona uzombona. Njalo, njalo, njalo. Uzombona. Njalo. Uzombona tembala. Njalo. Uzombona njalo. 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 Njalo, njalo, njalo. Uzombona tembala. Njalo. Uzombona njalo. Njalo. njalo njalo uzongibona uzongibona Thembala uzongibona njalo njalo oh njalo uzongibona Thembala mwema.
Absolute legends. I'm going to make you stand up just so you can take a bow because we love you guys. What a privilege to have you in studio. Absolute superstars to kickstart our day. Thank you so much to everyone who has played their part. What an amazing... It was Mission Impossible, but it's been made possible today. Thank you so much.
And be done. Have a wonderful day, guys. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow because it's a Friday.
Yeah, baby! Thank you, you beauty.
Nada. Feel Good production.
Oh yes, Mzansi, welcome to it. We are live. We're talking to you out on Facebook Live, out on YouTube, and we're still sitting here with absolute royalty. Of course, it's Inkabi Zezwe, and they are doing something special. They've been serving us throughout the morning, and they've got one more edition that is absolutely ready for you. So, without further ado, this is Kaya Lam. Take it away.
Thank you. Guys, home sweet home. Kaya lamile ligaltanda kodwa sekaya la noma ngabe izinhle zodalama kodwa sekaya la noma silala singadlile wema kodwa sekaya la Legisa ngami makhelwane kodwa kusekhaya la emntana lekhaya wena ongayiqhenyi ngalo khona balifisayo awu yeah lekhaya wena onyeza ngalo khona balifisayo lekhaya ulibona lihlazo kuwe khona balifisayo awu yeah lentandane ngake lale mkaqweni yize zilifisayo oh yeah kaya lami leli ngiyalithanda kodwa kusekhaya la. Noma ngabe izinto zodaka ma, kodwa kusekhaya la. Noma silala singadlile wema, kodwa kusekhaya la. Hlekisa ngami makhelwane, kodwa kusekhaya la. Shonwe ngami. Baba ngiyakhuleka, bami kuyanyukela, phile ngiyahluleka, ngicela ungiphe amandla ngilo sithumela, thumela umkhuleko. Siyazama siyahluleka, nhliziyo yami umoya uyaphuleka, ngoba thina ekhaya siyahlupheka. Noma ngabe izindlu zodaka ma, kodwa kusekhaya la. Noma ngabe sihlala siphuza amanzi kodwa kusekhaya la. Khaya lami leli ngiyalithanda, ngoba kusekhaya la. Noma ngabe izindlu zodaka ma, kodwa kusekhaya la. Noma silala singadlile wema, kodwa kusekhaya la. Hlekisa ngami makhelwane, kodwa kusekhaya la. Oh yeah. Oh, 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 yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, 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 yeah. Ayakhuleka. Asahlupheka.
Absolute royalty. There you have it, Mzansi. Thank you for joining us. And of course, that's Inkabi Zezwe. They're going to be performing their concert on the 29th of July. That's at the Grand West Arena. And of course, Saturday is never going to be better. So get your tickets. If you wanted the inspiration, you've been served and you have every reason to get involved. From you two, I want to say thank you. Thank you, thank you for serving your gift, for sharing it with the world and inspiring so many. This is what it's about, Mzansi, and thank you all for joining us. That's how you start your day. Booyah.